Are we on? Listen, there's no need to be vicious. I was focusing. Red eye. And you're always in a bad mood, aren't you? Well, should I start all over again? I don't know how much you heard and didn't hear. Oh my God, I don't even know what. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'll start over again. How about that? Uh, no, we're not. We're not through making adjustments. No, somebody says there you are. Okay, we're okay now. Okay, my apologies. I can't read the chat and my notes at the same time. Critics, you guys, you're worse than the Rams. I don't even know where. I don't even know where to. I don't even know where I lost you. Anyway, tonight's program, I started off with not yet ready for prime time. I'm sure we can all agree on that right now. It appears that way anyway. But after playing the Niners' final preseason game versus the Texans, one conclusion that can be made is that the O-line, Trey Lance, and they both need more time and reps to prepare for the upcoming season opener on September 11th versus the Bears, of which we cannot lose to. So tonight, taking your calls after going over some of the post-game thoughts shared by Coach Kyle Shanahan from today's conference call regarding the 49ers offensive line, which has become a bad. Well, here's the thing, fam. We've been talking about, that defense. That's a top three. That could be the number one defense. We got a secondary finally. That's how we talked around it the whole time. In the back of your mind, it's one of those things you don't want to have to continue to think about. And here we are. So, by the way, for those of us who question the front office's efforts to find some better help for the O-line, according to Eric Branch of the San Francisco Chronicle, the Niners have inquired about adding an O-lineman via a trade. That it shouldn't be any surprise to anybody because the 49ers were aware of that front line, that offensive line as much as we are. So Branch is quoted saying, the 49ers have recently made trade inquiries that add an interior offensive lineman, but a deal doesn't appear imminent, according to league sources. A nasty quote. Damn it. If any of the Niners players other than the interior offensive line could have benefited from more preseason reps, it was T. Lance. Coach Shanahan entered last night's preseason finale with the intent of giving second-year QB Trey Lance 2 series worth of snaps. Things didn't go so well in those 2 offensive drives, as you've noticed, and so Lance headed out there for a third before being done for the night. In a perfect world, T. Lance would have played more. That's what Kyle Shanahan would have liked to have done. But truth is, Coach Shanahan had to carefully balance between getting T. Lance more experience, more reps. The more you get, the better you're going to get, right? And keeping him healthy. Which one are you going to do? Because if he's not healthy, the reps ain't going to help any. Trey, get over here. Sit down. He was under duress for most of the night thanks to a questionable outing by the O-line that clearly remains to be a work in progress. Coach Shanahan mercifully made the correct choice when he decided enough was enough and made Trey come and sit down. Shanahan had said earlier today on a conference call, I would love to get Trey more practice and everything, more experience. I would always want more of that, but we've run out of those games, and he's as ready to go as he can be. He needs to get in these real games now and start playing. There's going to be times he makes some mistakes, and he's got to learn from them and find a way to still win the game and overcome some of those things as he learns on the run. Learning on the run, unquote. And you know what? Don't let's not worry. Don't worry before it's necessary, fam. Because here we are, Lance's second year, and we're still trying to put some experience on him. T. Lance only played in the first and third preseason games. Against the Packers, TL was 4-5, passing for 92 yards and a TD. We think, oh, yes, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. We're already due a launch a Broadway musical. No, we're not. Nah, we're not. Against the Texans, T. Lance was 7 of 11 for 49 yards and no TDs. It was a lot of snaps for the T. Lance, but he escaped the preseason unscathed, injury-free, and this is of the ultimate importance because you look at our backups. You better keep him as healthy as you can for as long as you can. Although I'm not a Nate Sudfeld guy, but I do like what I see in that kid Purdy. So maybe we're not going to be all that bad. I mean, I want to see Purdy progress. Sudfeld's going to be that same Sudfeld no matter what. But anyway, that was mission accomplished. Coach Shanahan did add, I'm glad he did. This is a quote. I'm glad he did get some experience in this preseason. I always wish he could have gotten more, but I am glad that he came out healthy this year, where last year he came out with that broken finger that did affect him. So, fam, what do you think? Was it better to keep him out there, or run risk of keeping him out on the field and see if he can get a few more snaps? I do realize something about Lance. Last year when we played the Texans, Lance came out a little slow, and then as the game progressed, he picked it up. I really do think he has a nervous thing going on there. And when he settles down, he's ready to go. So maybe this is just what that is. I'm thinking because he can play better than we saw him play yesterday. And fam, believe it or not, Coach Shanahan believes in his young, inexperienced O-line. Hopefully the truth is that they haven't reached their full potential yet, as was evident by last night's 17-0 preseason loss to the Texans. Texans ain't all that, fam. And Willie Snead, Jesus Christ. No matter what else, Willie Snead, we did not have to have a 0 on the night. Oh, we could at least, even if the score would not have indicated how one side of that game was, you could have just caught the ball, Willie, right here, right there, Willie Snead. Oh, you know what? Let me not go through that again. I went through that. Let me calm it down. Oosa. They cut Willie Snead, though. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be upset. Okay, the Niners have 16 more days until the regular season opener against the Bears, as you know. Coach Shanahan hopes his own line will make a leap before retaking the field. He said on that conference call earlier today about the O-line this. Yeah, I mean, we're not there yet. I think that's obvious. We've got some new guys and some young guys, and also not having Michael McGlinchey in there, and his little setback has hurt us. I'm hoping to get him back. Not having Dan Brunskill in there, who has been a starter for us the last 2 years, has also been rough. I can already hear Casey in the background. What has Dan Brunskill done that was great? He's been out there, and we've won while he was out there, Casey. You know, you got to keep certain guys around. They've been around for a while in order to be – continuity cannot be reached by new bodies shuffling it out in and out on the offensive lines, which is what we're watching now. Shanahan goes on to say, but what I'm excited about all these young guys who are getting these opportunities and playing, they all have the ability to be very good in this league. It's tough in an O-line situation where, especially this year, you don't do one thing from practicing football from an O-line standpoint in OTAs. You really just start in training camp. Offensive linemen just go through the motions during OTAs and minicamp. They don't get a block-in game-type scenarios until training camp. That started only a month ago. So it's been about 3 weeks to a month of football for those guys. And Lord knows they need a year minimum. And say they've only had a few days. Blame the NFLPU for that problem, though, fam. They negotiated all this, pads, when they get on, and when people can start to work and all that stuff. That was all negotiated by them. And they never considered for a minute. Offensive linemen actually need off-season training because the defense seems to progress easily and faster. Coach continued by saying, quote, I really do believe the ability that they have and where they can go, but the reason is now just 16 days away. And I do believe that the more they play, the better they'll get because they're made of the right stuff. Boom, 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 Backstreet Boys. Or is that New Kids on the Block? Anyway, and they have the ability to do it. But it does take time in this league, and we've got a couple of guys doing that. Right now are showing up a lot, but they'll get there. Coach Shanahan was specifically asked about it, unquote, by the way. Coach Shanahan was also specifically asked about Aaron Banks. Coach didn't feel any struggles were entirely Banks' fault. He responded by saying, I thought he had a better game this week than versus Minnesota. He never throws his guys under the bus. You'll never hear Shanahan say anything bad about his guys. I like that about him, though. Because I know there's definitely a couple that he missed. There he goes. He says it lightly. He says a little bit bad about it, but nothing. That's not vicious. But I also thought it was a full offense there. There's a couple I thought we could have gotten rid of the ball a lot sooner. Now he's designating blame. There's a couple the quarterback didn't have a chance on. Now he's designating blame toward the defense coming at him. As a whole, it wasn't good enough. When you ask about him in particular, I thought he did improve from the week before, unquote. He has to say that. Otherwise, it means his coaching is lacking. Trent Williams sat out the Thursday nighter. As already mentioned, McGlinchey and Brunskill are working their way back from injuries. Coach Shanahan hopes the return of those players will result in a much improved unit in front of T. Lance. It's scary, isn't it? I'm not going to talk about this often. I mention this now because it was headline news. Coach Shanahan, because it bothers me, is why. And I'm one of those guys that kind of hides from things like this. Coach Shanahan added, quote, hopefully we can have some good news with Brunskill and McGlinchey so we get some guys back and have done it before and they can give us a little more help in these areas, unquote. I don't know. That's why when I first heard Alex Max was hedging, I said, oh, my God, we're trading Lincoln Tomlinson. Oh, my God. Mike McGlinchey, is he going to make it back okay? Oh, my God, it myself to death. I said, how are we going to do? I mean, we got a rookie quarterback basically that needs his offensive line more than anything this year. And I got all these guys that are either traded or gone or hurt. And now I got a new offensive line, which is the worst friggin' possible. You know what? I'm going to stop because I can go on and on moaning and groaning and whining probably for the next 6 to 7, 8 hours. You know, and you look at, as I say, in Carolina, what does their offensive line look like? You got Darnold being carted off the field. It does make you feel good, though. I was watching the Cowboys, and all they were doing was crying about their offensive line. Misery loves company, don't it, fam? Hey, Dre.
Ronbo.
Dre. You know, great. I'm a man who loves to enjoy and smile and laugh during my football and say, "Ha, yeah, you know." But now I'm sitting there thinking, check him out, see if it's okay. Get up, Trey. I don't want to go through that, man. Dre, how bad is this situation? Can we make some change? Is it all about the game plan? You have confidence in Kyle's genius to be able to design something where we can still function without anybody getting killed out there? What do you think?
Let's see. The starters, a little insight. The plays that they were running in the practice, all that, they not running those plays this upcoming season. They actually scripted some things and it's off-season practice that wasn't available to the public. But the press, a few press members did get to see it, like from San Francisco beat writer reports and things of that nature. They weren't able to say what they saw. They had a meeting with them and told them not to see what they saw. And,
Dre, where did you get this information from? Oh.
Grant.
Okay.
Grant.
Oh, yeah, because he's sitting there. He's the one getting the information. Okay.
Mm-hmm. He said he came. He said he's seen some stuff. He said, listen, you guys have no idea. He said, I'm not at liberty to say, but you have no idea. And I was like, oh, shit. And shoot. And, let me take my medicine and sit down because I'm going to smack the shit out of Kyle. I mean, stuffing out of Kyle. It's almost Thanksgiving. I'm going to smack the stuffing out of Kyle. I swear he was going to be candy everywhere for Halloween. It was just smack him into the middle of next year. You keep beefing up that defensive line.
He's doing some good acting then. Kyle looks totally frustrated staying on that sideline.
Poker face.
Yeah. No, he looked visibly upset on a number of occasions.
Yeah. I was too. Shit, it was like he should have stayed at home. I shouldn't even turn the game on. It was like we watched the last game. I'm like, you know what? Let me cut this stuff off. Kyle gonna piss me off. He get him hurt. He gonna piss me off. Piss me off, Kyle, trying to prove a point to the people out there in the press, and you gonna piss me off. Get him hurt like you did last year. Because it's like you seen how he hit his hand or his arm. He hit something
His arm in
on
that
the
one
helmet.
play. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh no. But he was good. So, but still, that lets me know that offensive line is cracked. It's doo-doo. It stinks. It just stinks. And Kyle, this is all because you paid more attention to trading Jimmy this past offseason than you did beefing up your whole line. Let's just stay fair.
Okay, you know what,
If
though? They tried.
that had nothing to do with Jimmy. That had
No, but the thing
nothing
is,
to do with him.
the thing is, there's
Mhm.
no offensive lineman out there. There's several teams trying to find a quality lineman. We go through this every year. League goes through this every year. That's why I'm always encouraged. I'm saying, if you're a kid, 12, 13 years old, forget about the sexy plays. Forget about the skill positions. If you're a big kid, continue to eat, continue to lift, work on your skills as an offensive lineman. And I guarantee you, by the time you get to be about 18 to 21, scouts going to be noticing you. You'll get the big bucks. There are not enough quality offensive linemen around the NFL to actually go around.
It was some available, though. I remember
Ooh.
calling in during my little football break, and I heard a few people was naming some that they missed on. That was before the draft.
You talking about the
After
draft?
the draft.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying before the draft, when it was free agency, they missed some throughout that whole period, and then they missed the last little crumbs that was okay, to tape together our offensive line.
But see,
see,
Dre, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Jimmy wasn't even in the equation then. The 49ers weren't interested for some reason. I think they thought, well, they got rid of Laken Tomlinson. That was a mistake. And for some reason, I guess they thought Michael McGlinchey's going to be fine. And there was nobody getting a center. That was bad. But I don't know what they're thinking.
Oh, let me ask you this question, Ronbo. Okay, since we on offensive line, who was that wide receiver that played for us? His last name was Bruce.
His last name was what?
He was doing this, Bruce. Yeah, or that was his first name. He was on our team during the Sean Hill days. When we had Sean Hill and there was one more other.
Wait a minute, that's the guy that played for the Rams once.
Yeah.
Oh, that
him.
guy.
So what offense line is worse? That year, which was when he was defending, and he wasn't as good as he was, and he took his last 50 catches with the Niners. We appreciate it. But what offensive line was worse? That year, because that year was horrible too, Ronbo. I'm scared as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because it's like Trey Lance, he do have flaws, but if we could hide them, they have to give us time to hide them. Give a player time to develop. And Debo, what's up with you, man? He threw that ball perfectly to you. You could have caught that.
Well, the defender, Debo had the defender knocked that ball out of Debo's hands. There was no separation. Him and that defender was running down.
That's what I said.
Stingley? Yeah, running down the field step and step.
Every video I done watched of him, he ain't beat nobody. He ain't even beat Ambry Thomas.
I've been trying to tell everybody who keeps saying, "Throw the ball." Debo is not a deep threat. If he gets the ball, there's somebody lagging on defense or broken play. If he gets the ball down deep downfield,
he got his baby mama bottom half out there playing.
He's a little heavy too. Yeah.
He needs to lose some weight. He got his child's mother's hips or something. I don't know.
So Jay,
I don't know.
Throw the ball to Gray. Or throw it to B.A. Let Debo work the middle of it. He's an intermediate route receiver. Stop with this other stuff. It's ridiculous.
But you got to give him time. You got to give him time on some of them plays. And then he also got to throw that ball quicker. But, I mean, hell, you can't throw no quicker than a millisecond. Then it's going to get intercepted. Then it's all on you still. It's like, I put it to y'all like this. Don't criticize Trey Lance this year. It really ain't his fault. It's about
a lot of it's not going to be his fault.
And John and their egos and not getting rid of Jimmy when it was supposed to. It's not Jimmy's fault, but they could have took that money that they had invested in him
and buy an offensive lineman. I'm trying to get the connection. So you say use that money. You know what? But that's another thing, Dre. The 49ers have not hesitated to spend money. They've got what they wanted to get. Javarius Ward, I thought they didn't have no money for him. He got paid. We paid Debo. People need to.
Hey, look, they do the Ram business when they want to.
So don't connect Jimmy and what the 49ers spend money on, because the 49ers don't give a damn about Jimmy's money. They didn't have to pay him until later on anyway. They could, as soon as they signed whoever they want to sign, just say goodbye. But they don't seem to put priorities in the same order with common good sense. Not always. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I hope he got the common good sense to keep Brock Purdy, because if not, I know he's gonna be in Seattle. He's gonna be giving us hell for the next 10 years. Because if you let him go, he got to risk him going there. I'd rather let Jimmy go and deal with Jimmy in Seattle than deal with Brock Purdy. That's the reason.
No, you don't, because that's too much information. If Jimmy, no matter how well Jimmy bad or good he plays, you don't want all that knowledge in Pete Carroll's hands about what we do here. They really don't, and that's why they're waiting until they're
beating the brakes off of Kyle for years since Kyle got here.
And it'll get
beating him down.
And it'll get worse. So because Pete's going to sit down and ask him question after question, and a quarterback has got a lot to tell. Anyway.
Well, Jimmy don't. He ain't never there. Last time I checked, he was always out with his phone.
He is for the season, Dre. He is for the season. He knows the offense. He knows the offense pretty well.
Look like he know the defense. Look like he knew the defense. Not to play with you, Ronbo.
I don't want him over there. I do not want Pete picking his brain for everything he knows about that offense. But anyway,
would you prefer him or Brock Purdy?
Yeah, I'd rather have
imagine what he could do for him.
I'd rather have Nate Sudfeld over there. Now you're not worrying.
Yeah, you can take one of them, but don't take Brock Purdy. He stays here.
Anyway, we're gonna go. I'm gonna see you Sunday. All right.
All right, y'all stay safe.
You too. Night, fam. Yeah, people seem to misunderstand. We're talking about Jimmy Garoppolo being over there too. He may do better in that offense than he does now. His offense is very sophisticated. Pete Carroll's is not. Scapelli supplies repairs. Hey, Scapelli, what's going on, man? He says, no sound, my man. I know. Sorry about that. I didn't realize. You know what? Because production was looking at something else. I was watching what I was doing, and we didn't know. I don't even know how long I was off. Anyway, so I want to apologize again. Yo, be here.
Bromboski.
Beham.
What's going on with your brother?
We're looking at the offensive production here. Although Dre just said that they have some kind of hush-hush agreement going on, but they don't want to get out. What's really funny, though, why would you tell Grant Cohn that? And Grant, first thing he does is go out and say, there's some things I'm not at liberty to talk about.
Oh, man.
If I want a secret, or if I'm doing something out here I don't want anybody to know about, I don't let the media even see it. I'm kind of confused by that. But anyway, they're supposed to have a contingent plan.
Cone anything.
Well, anyway, it sounds like from what Dre just said, they got some kind of contingency plan in the works. I'm not sure what that could possibly be.
Tell you what, I went back and rewatched everything. A man that just left out of here, he made a valid point. Same thing we've been seeing for since Jimmy took us to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody can say what they want. Debo, Brandon Ayuk ain't neither one of those guys, George Kittle. Neither one of those guys are burners.
Yep.
Debo wanted to hit Debo on a streak yesterday, and that guy was with Debo stride for stride.
Stride for stride.
That's why Jimmy never tried to take a deep shot to Debo down the field or any of the other guys, because you're not outrunning no one.
Percentages were too low. Exactly. So that's why.
Yeah, you're not outrunning anyone.
Yeah. And why I'm gonna throw the ball down there? I get enough picks. That's what Jimmy's thinking.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Ronbo. Being totally honest, I believe we'll beat a lot of people. Listening to a lot of the other analysts that, sit back and do more homework than what we do. Some of those guys will, they say they have concern because that still was the Texans' second string defense. I don't know. I don't really keep up with the Texans players like that.
Please don't tell me this. Oh, is that? Oh my God.
If that was their second screen defense and those guys were still trying to make the roster, then we got a problem. Like I say, I don't keep up with them. I don't know who they players are like that. You know what I'm saying? I know that they was a trash team. However, the only thing I can say is maybe maybe it was Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith put a good defense out there.
Defensive guru. Yep.
He is a defensive guru. So maybe we're gonna, maybe we can hide Trey Lance deficiencies if there are any, which I'm pretty sure he's a young kid. He ain't played football for real, in like he ain't played a season in over a couple of years. So it's a lot of things he got to get back used to.
Things he's never seen. He's seen things he's never seen before, and he's got to see those,
right,
process it, and know how to act next time. Exactly.
Because like I kept hearing the announcer saying yesterday, he was like, they're confusing him. But they really wasn't doing anything. They wasn't setting up any different or doing anything. They was coming out, they was giving them a look, and then they was changing up their formation at the snap of the ball.
Lovie Smith ought to be ashamed. It's a preseason game, Lovie. Come on, man. Don't get pretty out there.
I'm not going to say Lovie should be ashamed. I'm actually glad he did it because now we know one thing that we need to work on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It gives him gives him a about learning. I hope we can scheme Danny Gray up. I still think we need another deep threat. It's always better to have two than one. You lock in on one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got a problem.
Well, you kind of do
right
with Ray.
where we was.
But Ray doesn't have straight line speed, from what I understand. He'll take a man's ankles off, but as far as him zooming downfield, no, maybe not.
Yeah, but I mean, with Debo and Ayuk, they can get down within 5 to 15, 20 yards. You know what I'm saying? But
you know what though, fam? I trust Ayuk downfield.
The defense on their toes.
But you know,
yeah, that boy. You know what? He seemed to somehow know how to get open.
Yeah, because Ayuk
can on deep passes.
Yeah, see, because he can ruin a man trying to guard him. Ayuk will have him laying in the dirt. So him and Gray, Danny Gray and Ayuk, I think that could be effective. They just got to get some work in.
I believe it'll work. I believe. Like I say, I think unless we run into a defensive-minded coach that's really well with scheming up a defense to give Trey something that he hadn't seen before, and at the end of the day, we still was missing a lot of people on the field.
Yeah.
I think they said it was like 16 people or something that didn't
21.
suit up.
Yeah, 21.
So yeah, I'm not looking too deep off into it. However, like I said, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of 6 in one hand and half a dozen in the other. It's a good thing that Lovie did that, but we're gonna pray that, you know what I'm saying, it's not too detrimental to where it exposes something that's gonna have us scratching our head, the whole season. So I'm hoping that everything works out fine, man.
Yeah, because BM,
first game.
Go ahead.
I'm not finna say I'm not really worried about the first game. We got 17. We have 17 or 16 days or whatever to scheme up for
the
Chicago,
Bears,
who is really they still got a lot that they got going on. I think Justin Fields is. I think Justin Fields is more decisive, maybe. They're more.
Yeah, because he's had a year. He's had a year to get his brains beat out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, he haven't never stopped playing. So I think he's just a little bit more seasoned. But I think Kyle is going to come up with a better scheme to actually, you know what I'm saying.
And our defense is going to hurt the Bears' offense too. So we got that going for us as well. So.
Yeah, you remember what Justin Fields did to us last year.
That was embarrassing. I still don't believe
he was out there. He's out there looking like a baby Lamar Jackson.
I don't know, but that gap on the left side, you could have drove your truck through there, fam, and wouldn't they ran over anybody? God, that was wild.
With the trailer.
With the trailer, exactly.
I'm hoping and praying, Ronbo. I'm hoping and praying that we can scheme up something real good for him. as to where he won't really be a factor, but don't want him to make us look foolish out there.
No. They'll get this figured out. I just wish we had more film on the Bears already. But yeah, we got to roll though, and I tell you, I'll be back Sunday looking for you and see what's on your mind.
Okay, if I get in Sunday, man, I try to get out there and we, talk about it. Hey, praying for a good season. Look like we got out of there with less injuries than normal. So
yes,
we might be all right. What I'm saying?
Good luck,
forward.
good luck, Omen. That we ain't all beat up. All right.
I ain't lying. All right, Ronbo, be safe, baby. Love you, man. Hey, y'all
thanks,
like and subscribe, man, and keep our bands on the air, man.
Hey, I'll do my best, fam. Can't wait to talk to you later.
All right.
Bye, BM.
Okay.
Hey, Marcus.
Man, what's going on, Ronbo? I'm
Marcus,
feeling down right now.
We're doing it's a whining night. What I like to have is those nights where it's nothing but a good time. But what we saw yesterday, and by the way, for those who are saying it's just a preseason game, I am not talking about the game. I'm talking about some individual performances out there. This is where I don't care about. I do care about Willie Snead. We did not have to have a 0 in the loss. Okay. Anyway, we're looking at individual players, not the game score. I'm trying.
Okay, Romo, I'm gonna go with Trey Lance.
Okay.
We drafted him number 3, right? And we were sitting at number 11.
Mm-hmm.
We were sitting at number 11.
Yep.
Why didn't we just stay pat and pick him at number 11? And I think New England would have picked Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones would have fell to New England anyway. That's what they wanted. Why did we give up 3 first-round picks for Trey Lance? I don't think he's worth 3 first-round picks. So you put that target on his back, so we want him to be great like Montana now. To me, when I went to the game last night, he's not gonna be that great. He's gonna be a good player, but you put that target on his back with all the 3 draft round, first round picks that we gave up on him. Now his feelings so high that there's pressure on him, and that's John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan's fault, because if they could have just stayed pat at number 11, he would probably have failed to them, and we could have kept our first round draft picks. We didn't have to give up that much to get this guy. I don't think New England.
Marcus,
New England would have took him.
Marcus, there was a thing. There was, how I don't know how the rumors start trickling down through the ranks into every team's room, in the war room. But the 49ers were under the impression that. Because remember, there was this conversation about whether Kyle wanted Mac Jones or Trey Lance. They wanted to make sure at that date they would have what they wanted to. And then they tried to trade up a little later so they wouldn't have to give up so many assets. But everybody said, get out of here. Don't call me for that. And then they got up to the Dolphins, and the Dolphins says, sure, no problem. What do you get? What are you willing to give up? 3. All right, you got number 3. And see, they didn't really intend to go that high in the draft, but that's where they wanted to go so they'd have their choice, because they knew that, of course, Trevor Lawrence was gone and Zach Wilson was on his way to New York as well. The number 3 pick was up in the air of who wanted who, Justin, Trey, any of the other people who were Mac Jones. That's why they went that route. So they didn't really want to do that.
I'm going to make some people mad when I say this, but I don't think we're going to win a Super Bowl with Kyle Shanahan and Lynch at the control. And York do not care about Super Bowls to me, because if he did, he would put pressure on Kyle, because Kyle, they overpaying players like Debo. I wouldn't have paid Debo. I would have traded him, because he came in. He's not a Jerry Rice style. He came in out of shape. He don't care. Once they get that bag, they run with that bag, and that bag weighs him down. He don't care. He don't care. He don't care. I don't think George Kittle care, because his production has failed down. He's not like he was when he first came in. Once they get that money, they don't care anymore, man. And I wouldn't pay these players that. I would let Debo walk. I would let him walk, because when he was coming in the draft, I was hoping to God that we picked Metcalf. I wanted him. I was waiting on him. That's our TO. If they took Debo, I'd rather have Metcalf.
Marcus, before that draft, I was yelling DK Metcalf every day too. I almost got me a T-shirt wrote on there DK Metcalf, because I just loved him coming out of. But he came out of what school in the South? Anyway, I said,
him and Brown that came out of Ole Miss.
Yeah, them big monsters. Get DK. Every day I was DK weeks before the draft, and then somebody said, "Well, DK Metcalf failed to break sometime in a cone drill." I said, "Uh-oh."
And
Kyle's
just
gonna
like
want.
last night, I was at the game. Kyle Shanahan made me so mad. You got Danny Gray sitting on the sideline over here, and just throw an out route to him down the sideline, just one play. But you're going to throw that to Debo. Debo cannot separate from nobody. So, and then you're going to bring Danny Gray in the
Later.
second half with the second unit. Like, dude, we sitting there, like, I didn't get nothing from the game. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. Like,
He didn't want
I
Danny
hope
to get
it's going
hurt.
to carry over. But I don't want this to carry over until the season. So I don't know what's going on with them, man. Shanahan been here 6 years. He been here 6 years. He went to Super Bowl. He went to the championship game. But I don't have no faith in him right now. Like, because we still looking at that Pat Mahomes thing. I just can't get over that. I can't get over it. Until that's gonna haunt us for about 20 years, man.
I know, right? You know what though?
It is.
The breaks are the breaks. It seems like there's a certain mojo that has to come over a team for them to win the Super Bowl. You can get there. Getting there is already an obstacle enough, but after you get there is when the magic has to take place. We didn't have to lose either one. We didn't have to lose NFCCG last year. We didn't have to lose the Super Bowl. But for some reason, for the Rams and the Chiefs, everything fell right into place. When you look at every little thing that happened in both those games, all the things that had to happen did. And not only on the offense, but the defense as well. Because that's the kind of luck you got to have to win a Super Bowl. When you get two equal teams almost together, it's whoever flinches, whoever makes the most mistakes. It's always like that. It's always going to be that way.
I'm going to say this and I'm going to end it. The best coach that I liked in the last 15 years, to me, I know people are not going to disagree. They're going to probably disagree with me. But you know what? Mike Singletary. He got the most out of his players. He just didn't have a quarterback at the time. He was on this team. If we had Mike Singletary and put fire on these guys, we would have won Super Bowl with him if we would have had a quarterback with him when he was playing.
Mike Singletary was definitely special.
And I know you talk about the general manager at the time, the one that's got that funny voice, but he drafted better than Lynch to me because he drafted some good players.
Oh, Trent Baalke?
He drafted some good players. Yes, he drafted some good players.
He didn't get Trent did get a few. He had a few sitting on the bench, and I don't understand why they were over there. But you're right. He was good at some players.
He drafted better than Lynch. He drafted better than Lynch.
But you know what?
You might disagree.
McLuhan, Marcus, is a guy who drafted better than anybody we just talked about. McLuhan was.
And who was this big offensive lineman we had? He was big number 77. We drafted him, and he about 6'8", 340.
Trent
we traded
Brown.
him to get this. Why did we trade him away and get this guy from Notre Dame? And he went on to make the Pro Bowl. Why did we?
And wait, it gets better. Marcus, he's the highest paid offensive lineman for at least a year too. Marcus, we got to go though, fam.
Why did we?
Okay. There's no answers on those. But let's talk about it again Sunday, okay?
Okay.
Night, fam. Yeah, those are questions that, it's always hindsight that's better if you could just have it in advance. Roof. It's Howard. Get it here. Dog. Howard, man. I haven't gotten over Willie Snead, but I'm trying not to talk about him tonight. But we're all looking at some of the things that we're not looking at scores, as some people talk about. People say, "Don't worry about it. It's just preseason." Well, you know what? We're worried about certain players, the preseason or not. They are questionable. I don't want to see. I thought I might have been in a small group. I don't want to see Debo running deep downfield anymore. I want Debo to do what he does best. Let's use him where he's the strongest. Intermediate routes, get at the ball in his hands as quick as possible, and allow him to destroy people. We just got Danny Gray. We got Ray McLeod. B.A. does nice deep routes. Okay? Stop with the Debo. I don't even know why Kyle ran that play. So, these are some of the things we hope to get corrected. In the offensive line, I'll let you go ahead. Get on that if all you want to. I'm wondering what you're thinking because there's a problem there for sure.
Listen. I understand you guys are over the Debo thing. Listen, the man got to get in shape, bro. Like, we got to see.
Definitely.
We got to see. No. Hear me out. Hear me out. I get it. Yeah, he's not the burner you probably want him to be, but this is something him and Trey have to get on the same page. You know what I'm saying? They're working some things, and I honestly don't think they're going to do this with Debo during the real games. You know what I'm saying? I think they're just playing around with it. You know what I'm saying? To just see what they got. I don't think they're going to do that with Debo per se.
Especially when it's not necessary. You got other guys who do that better, and there's things Debo
Yeah.
does better. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I think this is more of a fill out thing. It wasn't nothing crazy. Like, oh, we trying to make Debo a deep threat now. I don't think that's what it is.
Yeah.
They're trying to see what he can do. So
How good a shape he's in.
This is gonna help him gauge what he can do great, what he can do good in, and of course we know a lot of stuff he could do, but we want to make sure who he can put in these certain situations. We gonna put BA there? We gonna put Ray there? Or we gonna put Danny Gray in these situations? If he's ready for those situations, that's what we gotta make sure. So, you know, and I don't know about this whole DK Metcalf talk.
Coming in the draft, I like
sorry.
Debo better now, but I did like DK coming in the draft just because of his size and speed.
DK Metcalf had beyond the best quarterback the last few years. And he had anything to help this team, help Seattle win anything. What have they won?
Good point. In fact, DK made Rusty
seriously,
got mad.
what
DK
have
got
they
mad at Rusty a couple of times too. But go ahead.
You know what I mean? DK wouldn't have made a difference on the team. Who's going to throw the ball to him?
Well,
DJ Panther?
but Howard, you know what? Just like we were just saying a few minutes ago, people wonder why Jimmy wouldn't go downfield. He didn't have Danny Gray or Ray or anybody like that. And Jimmy knew going downfield to Debo was a huge risk because he doesn't separate. And if I'm the quarterback, I don't have any place to throw it to. When he did have Emmanuel Sanders, we lost the Super Bowl because Sanders isn't fast enough to take that kind of shot, and Jimmy threw the ball right past him because he had to put it there. Otherwise, the defense was going to catch up because Emmanuel Sanders was running neck and neck with the coverage. So, you know, you got to know who your deep threats are. And I still don't think Debo's a deep threat.
Nah. I'm gonna have to disagree on you with that one.
You think Debo is a deep threat?
No. What you were saying about the Emmanuel Sanders throw. Nah, he had both safeties beat, bro. I'm sorry. That was
because
overthrow.
it looked like they were just a step out in front because you know they held him. They held Emmanuel Sanders coming down the field. So
there was one play like that.
Yeah, so you know, and it still could have been a better place. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It could have been a better place. But I mean, how do you pull the string on that?
For that. I'm not gonna kill him for that. I'm not killing Jimmy for that. I never did. But what he did afterwards, I'm gonna kill him for that.
Yeah.
Because he had two chances to put the game at reach, and he didn't do it. So that's it. But as far as the rest of the squad, you know what I'm saying, the receiver room, I feel like Debo can take those. He can get those deep shots. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy had guys wide open, though. Like, I'll never get over that Juszczyk overthrow he did. That was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
And against the Titans. He was so open.
And Nick Mullins missed him another couple weeks later. There's just something about that throw. They were identical, bad misses. I don't have no idea what's going on with that.
They both had bad misses. Mullins, too. I like Nick, too. But when he threw that right at the linebacker, I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Well, hey, and Howard, that's a subject for a whole show. Actually, we've had every quarterback we've had has hit the linebacker right in the numbers. Also, Trey hasn't escaped that either. This is something about Kyle Shanahan's offense. What Kyle should do, I think that's the result of a timing route. That's the only thing I can think. That ball's supposed to be put at a certain place at a certain time. There's supposed to be a route runner coming through there. Here's the thing. If Kyle insists on doing that blind, you can't do that. Not across the middle of the field. And I think that's why every quarterback we've had has done that. That's the only thing I can come up with.
I don't know. I can't explain it, man. I can't. It's just weird.
And it needs to stop. Howard, you know, the clock ran out on us. Damn it! as soon as I get into a conversation, somebody, we gotta go. All right, let me see you Sunday. All right. Oh man.
Sunday?
Yeah, be back Sunday.
You said Sunday?
Sunday for sure.
All right, and then big brother.
All right.
Big dog.
All right, Howard.
Listen, everybody. Everybody's going Niners. Let's go. Let's get to it. Ronbo, get out, my brother.
Good night, Arnold. Howard, have a great night, fam.
Peace out, brother.
What the fuck?
That was Howard. Yeah, that juice missed. But Harold, not only Nick missed him, Jimmy missed him, and they missed him by miles. Both of them missed him by miles. How do you get two guys to make the same exact mistake in identical fashion? Hey, Brian.
Hey, Ronbo. Thanks for having me on.
Brian, always a pleasure. Come on in, man.
Hey, man. How are you doing since yesterday? Because
I still
I
haven't
am really
Steve,
like,
but I'm okay now.
I'm still embarrassed. I really am. I know it's just preseason, but even if they want to say preseason's practice, you still want to put up points. Like, they could have put Robbie out there.
Zero.
You know what I mean?
I like field goal.
Something, you know? I mean, like, just preseason, but you don't get shut out. You don't ever get shut out. And if you're practicing against these people, it's like, maybe they should go back to having 6 preseason games a year because they don't seem like they're ready yet.
Well, and I know you're an avid listener of Grant. Grant says they got something else going on. They got a contingency plan. Did you hear that too?
So, okay, yes, I listen to Grant. I listen to you. You're my number one YouTube platform, Ronbo. I've been listening to you from the beginning. You are the goat. Exactly. I have an app still on my old phone. I still charge it so I can still see MC. I'm just telling you, it's still there.
Thanks, Brad.
Nothing but Niners. They came on a little bit, I think, after you, and I've been listening to them. But, sometimes, when certain people are going on, and you're listening and stuff. So I have to say, I'm faithful to you. I listen to other people. There's a lot of other people. I've heard, Ultimate 49ers, John Jay. I've been listening to him. I listen to Grant Cohn. I listen to Aaron. I listen to Jack Hammer. I listen to Rob Shue. I listen to
Brian's he's not missing a name. He remembers everybody's name. Really rattled them up. Brian.
I'm listening to 49er Faithful. I mean, there's 24/7. I mean, I could just keep going on. But if I find somebody that's a 49er person, I give them a chance, and I listen to them when I have a chance. Because when I'm working, I turn them on, and then I can paint in the background, or I got them in the background, and I'm just doing my thing. And but no, Ronbo, you're my guy, and I've been listening to you since at least 2014.
Thanks, Brian. That's extremely flattering.
But hey, I know that probably killed a whole bunch of my time. But I wanted to call in and tell you, the other day that really was a bad game for us. Bad look. You want to definitely score some kind of point. And then after that, it's like, okay, we got so many days before there's another game. So if we're not practicing or we're not doing what we need to do out there, how are we going to come up and look? This is all this speculation. Everybody's freaking out because that's all these 49er fans do is just overanalyze everything. I know we just come down like little girls sometimes because it's like, Yeah.
And Brian knows he has
But-
two little girls he observes all the time. So,
I mean, like at the end of the day, it's just preseason. It doesn't mean anything, but it's like it does mean something because you didn't score any points. So how do you feel about that walking into like the next game? You're like, hey, we didn't score anything, you know. So I know it's just like over speculation, but it's like you do every game counts. If it's called a game,
and Brian, you know what's worrisome because even if we're not paying attention to the score, you're noticing individual performances that are concerning. Now, Willie Snead just came, and I'm going to have to get over him at some point because I don't know if he's going to make the team or not. But Brian, we didn't have to have 0. Willie Snead standing right in the end zone all by himself. The ball came right to him. Just what was that? And then we Debo. Everybody loves Debo. But I don't see him going downfield with a receiver running with him stride for stride, supposed to catch the ball. So that's why something I was trying to question that because I hope Debo doesn't keep pressuring Kyle Shanahan because you know how he is. Give me the ball, Debo. Coach, let me go deep. Let me go deep, Coach.
Well, I don't want to say what everybody else is saying because I listen to a lot of other people, but I do think Debo is more of a wide back than he is a wide receiver. He can definitely run deep and catch the ball. But he is more of a wide back. He is like an ultimate ball carrier, so let's just get the ball into his hands.
As soon as possible. That's right.
Let's just get the ball into his hands. Yeah. If he's afraid he's going to get hurt, he's not a football player, right? Yeah. So, like, if he wants to run, in the backfield, let him do it. And that's where, like, Devo is an ultimate football player. So that's where we're going to get, like, some of our advantages. But like this game, they're trying to determine is Brock Purdy or Sedfield. Neither one of them is really worthy of being quarterback 2. Are we really keeping Jimmy? It's all this speculation. It's more Niner football drama. It's just like, he's not sticking around. And if he is sticking around, then there's something really weird going on, Ronbo.
Well, you see, Brian, that's another show in itself. I really want to know what was going on this whole time. Jimmy could have been released a long time ago. If you're not going to get trade for him, you guys need to focus on getting this team ready for the 2022 season. There's no need to have Jimmy coming in and out of the locker room and going over to his own field and practicing. You don't have him involved with anything you're doing anyway. He could do that somewhere else. Let's focus on
all the way up till they can keep him all the way up until September 10th before it's weird.
Yeah. And they will. So, it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Ronbo. I know that's going to give a lot of people something to call in and talk about. But we played pathetic, and you got to put up some kind of points. But, hey, let's go Niners. Looking forward to the games that count. And Ronbo, keep doing your thing. You're one of the greatest GOATs out there. You're
Thanks,
Niners YouTube channel, and I'm just going to say it again, as I always do. Hey, and if anybody does want to donate to the Fathead platform, contact Ronbo or contact me because we're going to put another goat up there behind Ronbo. It's going to go right next to the goat, and we're trying to give him a Fathead. So there is a GoFundMe account if anybody hasn't heard about it, but it's real, and we've collected a lot of money. Shout out to Tony Nagataga. And a lot of other people that are, behind Ronbo. They just want to support the channol. So, hey, thanks, Ronbo.
Really appreciate you guys, too. Thanks so much, Brian. Give our best to Lily, Holly, and, of course, Tony. All right, fam. Have a great night.
Will do. Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Brian. And let's go. Oh, here comes Jay. Jay's worse than I am when it comes to his headphones. Let's see if he's ready. Hey, Jay.
Yo.
Wow, God, Jay, man, you came right in tonight. I didn't all the clicking and anything else. Jay, we're going over some of the things that happened during the game, and mind you, we're not talking about the game score except for I do have a problem with Willie Snead missing that touchdown. It could have been 17-7 at least. But anyway, Jay, your observations on some of the things that you think need to be improving, and especially the offensive line. Are we going to survive with what we're going to have to deal with as far as that offensive line? We've got a young quarterback that hasn't got a lot of experience. This is like a formula. Jay, you know what? I'm not. Let me stop. I'm the sky's falling on Ronbo again. Jay, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't think Willie Snead is gonna make it in our team. Because we have. I mean, he might make it a special teams or something like that, but, not for a wide receiver spot because we already got some good wide receivers. We don't need an extra one.
Well, you only get to keep 5 or 6 wide receivers, so.
Oh yeah. And yeah, Danny Gray is our only burner, in my opinion. Not Ray McLeod.
Yeah, Ray Ray's he's a guy who runs great routes. He can bust somebody's ankles down, but he's not going to go straight line speed. That's true.
Yeah. And about Debo, honestly, I would have traded him in the draft. As crazy as that sounds.
And Jay's right. Jay said that earlier. He's not just now saying that. Jay said that while everybody else was saying, "Pay Debo." Jay was saying, "Man, trade Debo." We got 4 or 5 guys to trade Debo.
You know why, Ronbo? Right? Because look, him and Trey. I mean, Trey and him don't have no chemistry. Like it doesn't make sense. And Debo is good in them short and intermediate throws and then over the middle. And Trey is not really. He is not really good at that right at this moment.
Well, he's working on it.
That's why. Well, yeah, he is working on it, and he will, definitely be good at that. But not right now. He's a little iffy on that. But that's why I would have traded Debo because that reason.
Well, and but Jay, is that a good enough reason to trade? You need to give him time. Everything pretty much there's a lot of things going on offense and need time. That in the offensive line, there's no continuity. Offensive lines have to have time to work together to know each other, how they're going to move on plays. Some of these things have to be worked out, and it's going to take some lumps to go through first, and that includes Debo and Trey Lance. They've got to get some things worked out. So I don't know about just trading for that reason, though. I mean, I understand what you're saying, though, with Ayuk. They worked together for all off-season long.
And because I didn't want to pay him as well. To be honest, I didn't want to pay him. That's why.
You're not a Debo fan? Are you serious? I thought everybody was a Debo fan until he started asking for money.
Nah, I mean, he did some pretty cool things last year.
Yeah.
It was good stuff. But, what's it called? Yeah, our offensive line, I don't know, man. I don't think we're going to, a lot of people are saying, a lot of fans are saying that we're going to go to the Super Bowl this year. I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest.
But you got to hope so. But you got to keep that in the back of your mind. But if you start going realistically, some of the things that would justify reality are kind of frightening. But stranger things have happened.
I said that we're gonna go 10-7, and at worst we're gonna go 9-8. So we'll see what happens.
We'll have a winning season. That 10-7 could get you into the playoffs this year too. When you look around at some of the schedules, everybody's got a rough schedule this year. Just about. There's a couple of easy schedules. They call them easy schedules, but when you look at it, you think, "Damn, what is easy about that schedule?" Yeah. So.
Yeah, but last year I think we had to bank on the Saints losing or something. I don't know what.
I remember that last 3 weeks we had to wait for the Saints to lose, and there was a combination of things that had to happen. I remember that. True.
Yeah, and what's it called? I think in 2023 we're gonna make it a Super Bowl, in my opinion. That's my opinion. And what's it called? I feel like Trey's gonna be better in 2023.
Oh, he has to. This is the thing. 1 year of college football. And then a few games last year, that's not enough for anybody to play in the NFL. And it's just not. He needs time. We don't know what we have here yet. Not really.
Yeah.
He's got a good head on his shoulders, and Kyle's just got to keep his mind in the right place so he doesn't get a little frustrated and start pressing. Because I saw a little bit of that yesterday, and hopefully he keeps confident.
Yeah, and I think Ronbo, honestly, we got so many good players right now that are injured. I know. Mike McGlinchey, he's a solid guy, and and the new corner that we got, that guy is. I don't know when he's going to come back. And Jimmy Ward,
no, he's back.
Yeah, Travaris.
He'll be there for game 1.
Yeah, hopefully he is. And Jimmy Ward's out for what? I don't know how many weeks.
4. Damn. 4 weeks. But Jay, I'm thinking, I'm looking at Womack yesterday. I said, put Sammy back into safety. That boy's crazy. We need crazy. I just hope he doesn't get hurt. But he kills me. God, he's just mean back there. He's like chewing gum. You're not getting away. When he's out there, you're not getting away. Oh,
Yeah.
love him.
Yeah, I like him too. But that's about it, Ronbo. Hopefully, them offensive linemen get better during the season as Trey will as well. I know Trey's gonna get better, but let's see if the offensive line can.
It's just about a progression. Kyle will bring him along. But we do have to be prepared for some lumps, and he has to have those. And then after that, we'll see. He's got this year to learn.
Unless you get to start against the Bears, that's pretty.
Yeah, I hope he comes out there with an attitude like, man, this dude, I got drafted ahead of him. I'm better than him. They picked me over him. Justin, I love you, bro. I'm beating your ass today, though. He's got to come out there with that thought in his mind.
You have a good one, Ronbo.
You do, Jay. I'll be like, Phil. And let's bring in Papa. Papa Drag. Pop, come on in, man.
Oh, my goodness, Ronbo. Damn. Woo.
There's too much cheese in my diet. I feel all flammed up.
You need to take a 2-week vacation and then quit.
I work. Remember that reminds me. I worked for a player like that once, and I remember those words. They were hilarious. I had to laugh. He wasn't laughing. Pop.
No, my favorite is when you get fired on your day off. That's my favorite.
like that joke about people the 49ers took it was their bye week and they still lost. remember those years?
I'm trying to forget them.
God, yes.
I heard somebody about Trent Baalke had a supporter on the line tonight. Man, I gotta love it.
Was that cool?
No, that was most uncool, but whatever.
I've never heard anybody do it either. That was the first time. Dre, was that you? Who did that? Oh, go ahead. Oh, funny.
Hey, you know what, guys? Overall, I know people have been just looking at stats at practice and losing their minds over preseason. Everyone just needs to chill. It's like Aaron Rodgers said that one year. Everybody relax. We got this. Relax. We got this. Now, trust me, it didn't look good, but as soon as I found out that they were sitting at least 16 players, you know what I did, Ronbo?
Just look back for entertainment, yeah.
I went to sleep.
You did the right thing, too, because it was worrisome watching some of the things that went on out there.
Well, I knew it was going to be a dumpster fire, which is what it was. Which is what it should be. You got Trent Williams on the sideline with a hoodie on.
And he was looking mad as hell. Every time they kept panning the camera over to Trent during the course of the game, too, which was funny. And every time they showed him, Trent was looking like, God, you read his lips. Damn.
Listen up, 49er fan. Look, we all know what we got, right? We have a rookie quarterback. And we got literally 3/5 of a rookie offensive line. What do you expect? Number two, here's where you got to look at the bright points. Like I know a lot of y'all commented on the whole Debo pass. Well, if you go back and you look at the film, Trey Lance zipped that ball down there real quick. Mm-hmm. You know why he zipped it down there real quick? Because Debo's being held all the way down the field. Mm-hmm. He's being held all the way down the field. Mm-hmm. He threw the ball going for a PI. Which he should have got because the defensive back never looked back at the ball.
Well, there is that.
But I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying decision that a veteran makes. If he sees that they're running back under duress going down the field, things are falling apart. Just sling it up there. Most of the time, 7 out of 10 times, you're going to get that call. I mean, we should have got that call. All right. Number two, young man is 11 for 16 in preseason, 141 yards. 1 touchdown. Guess what? No turnovers. None. Didn't one of these second-year quarterbacks this past set of games throw like 2 or 3 interceptions?
It wasn't Zach. He was laying up hurt. I'm not sure who did that.
I'm not sure who did. I'm just saying that, interceptions is one thing that you want to definitely try to avoid. And then, of course, we were talking about interceptions over the middle. Well, interceptions over the middle is going to happen. The Texans have a very deep defensive end position on their team. They played their starters, and they were running schemes. All right.
Yeah,
obviously,
the
49ers weren't prepared. Yeah, they weren't prepared. But not only were they not prepared, but their bookends were scrubs. I don't know what Jalen Moore. I mean, that was my first time seeing him run with the first team at left tackle. I could have got pressure on the quarterback. Seriously.
I mean, and he made a spinning top out of Jalen and went around there and blasted Trey. I said, "Damn, Jalen! Yeah. I thought you was gonna be better than this, though."
And Banks looks like a second round pick who hasn't played that much. That's what he looks like. That's what he looks like. That's what they're supposed to look like.
That's because that's what he is. Yeah.
But who doesn't look that way, believe it or not, is Trey Lance. And he might have did okay if he didn't have to run for his life and the receivers could get open. But the reality is that there's going to be ups and downs. I think there's going to be less downs. I don't think he's going to turn the ball over that much. I think you're going to see some ugly passes out of him until he grows into his arm, which takes time. But if you go back and if you look at Buffalo's quarterback, what's that fool's name?
Josh Allen.
Go back and look at his first year. It looked pretty damn ugly. It looked pretty similar. So you have to grow into your NFL throwing arm. That's something that changes during time, right? Because at that point, once you get comfortable with your arm and how you use your arm, his arm will change. His angles will change. Everything will change as he gets older and more experienced. He'll know what he can get away.
22, exactly.
Yeah, he'll know what he can get away, what he can't. But if we can't run the ball, I mean, he can't fix that. I mean, he can't. The only people that can fix that are the three interior linemen as far as the zone read goes or as far as running trap schemes and things like that. So, fam, here's the reality. Reality is we have a whole bunch of new coaches. We have a new offensive line. Let's face it, that's what it is. They haven't played together that much. We got a new quarterback. I don't care who you put back there. That is not an ideal situation for a veteran.
Or anybody else.
Anybody else. That's not an ideal situation. Now, if we can't run the ball, if we cannot run the ball, then we're gonna have to beat. And I love the Singletary comparison. The Singletary doesn't get enough credit, but Singletary did turn those boys into some mean, nasty men. And then, but Singletary wasn't organized. He was a terrible head coach,
and he wouldn't work in today's football. Not with the kids that are coming out now.
No, not working in today's football. But I will say that they were nasty. So anyway.
Good stuff, Bob. Always good stuff. Always the good stuff. We seem to have to end early with everybody when we're just getting going. But anyway,
no,
Bob,
be all right.
I'll be back Sunday.
Okay.
For you.
We'll be all right.
All right, fam.
We'll be all right. When's the 53-man cut? Is that Saturday or is that Monday?
You know, I'm
when is
not
it?
Sure.
Production is.
All right. Anyway, it's going to be next week. We know that. All right, fam.
All right.
Night, Bob.
All right, man. Later.
Yeah, looking forward. Oh, bam, boom, night. Hey, and Renzo.
Greetings from North Florida.
Yeah. Renzo, good hearing from you. I know you've been working hard.
Hey,
we haven't heard from you in 2 weeks.
Hey, man, I was at work listening to y'all last night.
Yeah. We was crying big time, weren't we? You know, Rizzo, and it wasn't about losing that game. Well, for me, it was losing the game in the fashion we lost it. I needed Willie Snead to catch that touchdown. We only had one, and it went right to Willie, standing in the end zone all by himself. All by himself. Nobody else there. The ball was right at eye level. He didn't have to bend forward, go side, left, right, just catch the ball. He fumbled that, bobbled it, and then walked out of bounds and threw it in the dirt. Renzo, let me move past that. I'm sorry. Hey, fam, from now, when anybody calls tonight and I started Willie Snead, just say, rumble, 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 rumble. Just call me. I'll be okay. Damn. Okay. But Renzo, you heard us last night. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Rumble, man, when Willie dropped that ball, I seen your reaction. I'm like, man, somebody pray for Rumble. Somebody pray for us. He about to snatch Willie through the TV.
Oh, Willie! Oh my God! I wanted to choke him out. What he's doing? We get one score tonight, and you bobble it, go out of bounds, and then you throw it down. What are you doing? I've never seen that before. He didn't have to jump. Okay, see, there I go. Okay, Renzo, go ahead. I ain't gonna say nothing else about Willie Snead.
My thing is, even though the game, we had like a bad game because we wasn't really gelling. But Shanahan, man, I don't know what he be up to because it seemed like he's the poker face guy. But I'm just like lost because a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, we get on Trey Sermon. But I'm like, yo.
I forgot about Trey. Willie made me forget about Trey. But what are you thinking about? What are you going to say about Trey, though?
Trey, you know what I'm saying? He be, like they say, he jumps around. You know, he's not decisive where he want to go at.
Yep.
It's something he got to work on. I think it's something that he got to work on. And two, a lot of time when we draft players, we try to change their position or how they play. I'm like, man, you got to draft what's good for you. You can't always expect to change a person's style of play. It's not going to always work. Like we might draft a person that plays left tackle and try to put him at right tackle. I'm like, man, he might not be good on the right side. You know, the left side might be his thing. You know?
That's usually the case, especially with a tackle. Because tackle is hard to play. So, you know, and when you're in the interior, it's nice and comfy and comfortable. You can muscle up. But that guy on the edge, if he's got to meet them speedy guys coming off the edge from the defense, his challenge on every snap is awesome. Oh, my God. Trent Williams doesn't get enough love.
And I'm hearing all this chatter about we might keep Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm like,
I don't think so. The 49ers are still trying to bluff people into making a deal, but it's a silly bluff. We know how much you owe him. You can't keep him.
Yeah, it's not. If we do keep him, we keep him, but nobody's finna trade for him, especially they know you finna cut him. Like, you should have never put that news in.
Right.
People ain't that bad. Like you say, if you're a GM and you trade for Jimmy,
damn fool.
You might lose his.
You gave up assets and they're going to let him go anyway? Don't you realize they can't keep him? Why did you give him a third round or whatever pick? And I got to pay him? No, you know what I'm going to do? You're fired. I'm going to give him your salary. That's what the owner's going to say.
Ronbo, let me throw this one in there for you. What happened if we cut Jimmy and Jimmy want to come back as a backup? I wonder how that'll do. That'll be crazy.
He won't because he's only 30, right? He still probably feels he has a career in the NFL. So if he does that, he shoots himself in the foot. You know something else, Renzo? I'm not sure how Jimmy feels about what took place. He's not saying a word. That dude is the ultimate Jimmy G is the nicest guy I've ever seen in my life as far as the NFL goes. He's over there quietly going about what he's doing. He's not bothering anybody. Yeah. He's not trying to disrupt what the 49ers are doing. He knows they've already made up their mind to where the direction they want to go. I can't believe him.
Hey, I don't even think Jimmy do social media because I ain't heard him.
He doesn't.
Like nothing about.
No, Jimmy doesn't want to. You know, fans attack. Jimmy knows. I think he's aware that people attack him all the time, so I'm sure he doesn't want to deal with that. But Jimmy G, he amazes me. His whole being just amazes me, and his record in the NFL, it's one of the best percentage-wise in the NFL. Yet he's being shipped out. He doesn't say a word.
And hey, Ronbo, man, Sammy Womack is becoming my little favorite guy, man.
You and me both, man. I love me some Sammy Womack.
That's a scrappy little dude, man. I'm talking about breaking up passes and turning the ball over. I'm like, hey, I like Sammy.
We have to give him a new name. We have to give him a new name too. We already got the Honey Badger. You know what a Honey Badger is? What we gonna call him?
Yeah,
Lil Wolverine.
Well, Ronbo, I'm about to cut it short, man. I got to get some shut. I got to go to work in the morning.
All right. It's always a great pleasure to hear from you, too. And get back here as soon as you can. Be looking for you.
Next week, starting Monday, I'm on day shift, so I can catch y'all at night.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Renzo, have a
All
great
right,
night,
man.
fam. All right.
Yes, sir.
And Seahawks fan here. Also, we got somebody here. What is that? I saw somebody from Australia in here. Hi, something there. Hey, come on in, guys. I don't see any Rams fans in here. That's really refreshing. And there he is. He is Trey from VA.
I love this part, Ronbo.
I do too. Here it comes.
And I do mean final.
We missed the first part, Trey.
Brother Ronbo, how you doing today?
Finally.
Doing all right. I, as long as I don't think about Willie Snead, I'm okay. We didn't have to have zero. That was the easiest touchdown you're ever going to see, and he dropped it.
That was a bad look, Ronbo.
It was a terrible look.
That was a bad. But you know what?
Trey, you get into your microphone a little closer or something, because you sound distant.
I'm right here. Can you catch me? You good?
That's a little better. Okay, go ahead.
Is it better? I want to make sure you got this.
Yeah, no. Now
better?
you're sounding just like good as ever.
All right. Cool. So look, it's ridiculous. Enough is enough. All right. The Jimmy G doesn't have anybody to throw deep to narrative. Is that what we're going with, Ronbo? Is that what we're doing?
No, we weren't. I just said Debo's not that deep threat. I mean, he's just.
Well, I would say I agree with you there. Before I get into what I gotta say, I agree with you there. Debo might not be that deep threat, but Kyle Shanahan, his schemes guys open up all the time deep. You look at Goodwin in the Super Bowl. Jimmy missed him for a Super Bowl. You think about Kyle Juszczyk in Tennessee.
We didn't have Goodwin.
Then he missed him for a game-winning touchdown, Ronbo. A game-winning touchdown. Okay, wide open. So we don't need the scheme guy. We don't need burners in this offense, Ronbo, and that's the narrative I can't stand. We don't need deep threats. We have guys running scot-free, wide open. Jimmy couldn't hit, right?
Okay.
But enough of that, because I need an immediate installment, if you don't mind.
And now it's a Friday night special of Let Me Holler at You. Go ahead, Trey.
Jalen Moore. Bring it here, young man. Bring it here and let me holla at you. Because, see, the problem that I got with you, buddy, is that you don't belong at tackle. It's not your fault that you're not an NFL tackle, but you're going to get somebody hurt or you're going to get somebody killed. And either way, we can't have it happening. Trey Lance, the franchise, the crown jewel behind this guy at left tackle, had limited reps in practice last week. He looked like it, didn't he, Ronbo? He didn't even get out of his stance yesterday.
And they got a good camera angle on that miss when the dude just ran around.
I think he's still in Houston in the three-point stance. That's how late he was. We went back, left him there, and we should have. But that's not why I'm upset, Ronbo. I'm upset at Kyle Shanahan. What are we doing, 4th and 2? You want to run the ball with Trey Sermon?
Trey Sermon. Oh!
Of all of the 6 running backs you got, plus Juice, plus Trey Lance, you want to go with Trey. Anyways, that's what
Trey, can I just say something about that, though? I got a feeling, Kyle, he gave Trey more snaps or more carries than anybody else on the team. I think Kyle came to
undeserved, Ronbo.
No,
undeserved.
The thing is, I think Kyle was looking at him to make a decision. I really do.
I understand, Ronbo, but the decision's made, okay? The decision's made. He has no wiggle, he has no jiggle, and he can't get it done. All right, seriously. But here's the problem, though. Well, we're not going to do it with the preseason because it's just preseason. Let me tell you the motto of preseason, Ronbo, and then I'm going to get up out of here. It doesn't count, but it does matter. And I will admit it. It doesn't count, but it does matter. And you know what matters to me is that people are acting like Trey Lance can't get it done. Lovie Smith went out there and broke the unspoken rule between coaches. He schemed it up. He schemed it up. Really? Preseason, really, Lovey? But here's the funny thing. Trey Lance has played against NFL teams, has he not?
Yeah.
He's played against NFL. He played NFL games, right? So why are we acting like the guy's never played in an NFL game? An entire couple of games. Actually, he beat Lovie Smith's defense last year. This very same team that we played, but guess what he had? He had starters on the offensive line. Mm-hmm. So let's chill. Let's take a deep breath. If you got a little bit of that with you, go ahead and exhale.
Trey, you know something? I think Kyle told Lovey to don't. If it's okay, can I get you guys to throw something at my youngster? Just don't hurt him. You know, because I wonder about what was going on. Why would Lovey go through that extreme?
It is what it is, Ronbo. It is what it is. I don't know why Lovey would do it, and that's cool. If he wants to win preseason games, more power to you. I promise you, the next time Kyle sees you, he's going to run it up on your ass, and I know it for a fact. We're out of here, Ronbo. Yesterday was terrible. All across the board, everybody was bad. But if we have one solace, there was only one quarterback that didn't turn the ball over, and there was only one quarterback that had the highest passer rating in that game. I'll let you guys figure that out.
All right. Good stuff, Trey. Your case.
Hey, Ronbo, I appreciate you. Shout out to production. Hey, look, that was me earlier telling you the sound won't on either, but I had to jump back off. But I'm glad y'all got it right. I know you be in the zone doing your thing. You know, you be going hard, man.
Yeah, I didn't notice the chat. Yeah, I would have stopped immediately.
Yeah, forget the chat, man. No, I ain't playing now. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to TNT. Everybody, we back. It's TNT season, man.
It definitely is. All right. Night Trey, appreciate you, man. Yeah, it's coming back Sunday, will you?
Yes, sir.
All right, looking for you.
I will be back Sunday.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Night Trey. And Clarence, come on in, Clarence.
Hey, Ronbo, can you hear me, sir?
Clarence, I can hear you loud and clear. In fact, it's really loud. It's good. Well, Clarence, and I keep reiterating, we're not so much concerned about losing and winning that game as we were individual performances, and there's some things going on out there. And you know what's so funny, Clarence? We've gotten tired of talking about Trey Sermon, and now we've moved over to a couple of guys on the offensive line. The debate is now is whether we should be throwing the ball deep down the field. But, you know, Pop pointed something out. I don't know. He gave Trey Lance a lot of credit for it, and hopefully he was accurate that he saw that the guy was running stride for stride with Debo down the field, and he was just all over Debo. There should have probably been a flag. I actually remember saying during the course of that game, though, I did say it, though, now that I think about it, that's not pass interference because the guy looked like all the way down the field. You could see him. He pulled out a hammer for a minute. Then he had a small billy club. Then he started stabbing him with a knife as they're running down the field. That was all the way down the field. So I said, how is that not pass interference? I do remember that now. But I do not want Debo running deep routes. His bread and butter is get the ball in his hands as fast as possible and let him destroy things. That's what I want to see him do. I got other guys who can go downfield. But Clarence, go ahead. What are you thinking?
Well, let's do a quick shout out to Papa Dragon and to Trey for putting some perspective and putting some clarity. Because it's preseason. Yeah. I wish sometimes that the team would just shut the media out altogether the entire preseason, and we just not hear anything about anything, and let's just go with the season as is. Because with all the media that's out there now, all the social media, this and that, all the narratives that are going on, we're not, we're always getting, half of this story, half of that story, half of, after Grant Cohn and all with everything with Kinlaw, I don't listen to that guy no more. I don't deal with his takes or anything like that. So whatever information that he supposedly has regarding our contingency plan, like I said, I wish the media would just butt out and just let the team be the team, let everybody do what they need to do, what they need to do.
Yeah, what, Clarence,
I believe Tuesday.
One thing though, I have a problem though, and I forgot who told me that, but I do have a problem with the coaches actually getting out in front of the media and actually entrusting them with that kind of sensitive. If I'm going to tell you that, I'm immediately letting you know you can go tell everybody because that's what you do. So I'm really struggling with that. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I definitely get that too. Yeah, like if somebody's going to put it out there, coaches or whatever, then that's free game. I get that. But if media's out there, trying to extrapolate, some
and they always
some
do.
of the narrative, and they always try. but that's their job. That's what they do.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what they get
So
quote
can't
unquote paid
blame
for.
them.
That's what they're famous for, things like that. But as far as good old Jimmy G, you know that the 53 is coming out like Tuesday, right?
I forgot what time, the hour and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I believe it comes out Tuesday. So
It definitely does.
Jimmy G can't be on the 53 on Tuesday, because what that means is if for god awful reason that he's on the 53, that means somebody else that we should have on that roster is going to get cut and possibly not make it through waivers, i.e. a Jordan Mason, i.e. a Brock Purdy.
Willie Snead is available. You know, I'm cutting
but you
Willie.
see what I'm saying? You know, it's so hopefully the brass, do their due diligence, like I said, because Jimmy's not guaranteed until 9/9, but the 53 is coming out Tuesday. So you can't put a Jimmy G on the team to sacrifice somebody else that we probably need.
But you know what? Clarence,
that Jordan Mason, that Brock Purdy, those
guys, those guys aren't going anywhere. But here's the thing: the 49ers have held on to him this long. For what reason? If I were trying to make some money, I'd put a bet that Jimmy is actually here after Tuesday. They're going to go right up to the last hour of that deadline on 9/9, and reasons are thinking they're still going to get some sudden call. All right, fine. What do you want for Jimmy? I don't. This is madness. This is wrong on a lot of levels too.
Jimmy screwed us with having that stupid surgery. He told us he should have that surgery at the end of the season instead of waiting until.
But I wonder who's advice.
February, March.
But he's not a doctor, Clarence. I still wonder, was this in cahoots with anybody other than just him making that decision? There's something very mysterious about the whole Jimmy G thing that I think we're not going to find out the truth about this for a while.
Until he's gone.
Yeah, because doesn't make any sense.
For a while.
Because, Clarence, that didn't benefit Jimmy. That did not benefit Jimmy. So why would he do that? That just screwed him. He doesn't want to be in San Francisco.
It did. Right, because we saw at the end of the season that he's saying his goodbyes, right?
Yeah, he's out of here.
So
why?
He already knew.
Why wait?
He saw the writing on the wall.
Exactly. And if I'm Jimmy,
but why wait not to get
that I got
surgery?
this shoulder in his hand situation. Well, that's what I'm saying. If I got a shoulder in his hand situation, I need to get this done now so I can get a job. Why would I wait? This is why I'm saying I don't know about Jimmy screwing the 49ers. I really want to know the truth about that whole matter. And all of a sudden, the 49ers casually mention Jimmy's going to have surgery. So what? I don't know. This is strange. But anyway.
Yeah, because at that time, he was ready to go.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Go. We already had people on the block ready to, people on the table.
Clarence, that's what I'm saying.
To trade for him,
Clarence, we got to go. But that's why I'm saying to everybody who thinks Jimmy screwed us, there's more to it than what it looks. I'm guaranteeing that. But anyway.
Probably is.
We'll see us. We got to go, though. Production's working me hard here. I'll see you Sunday, okay? I think production's pushing because we might have a lot of people on the phone tonight, I guess. Ellis, come on in, E.
What's up, Ronbo?
Ellis, Willie Snead. I wonder how long it's going to take me to get over Willie Snead. But Ellis, we're looking at some other things. Offensive line, for one. Him, offensive line and Trey, they need more time. We're going 16 days. We already lost one to get it to game one. Ellis, should we brace ourselves for pain, or are we going to be okay? What are you thinking?
Well, shit, how many starting linemen did we even have playing?
Offensive linemen? I know.
Did we have any starters? I think Spencer Burford, that's the only one who's set to be a starter.
Ellis, that's a bad thing. All those guys are trying out for the starter spot. Burford, they said nothing but good things about him. Aaron Banks, he's there. Williams is the only guy. I don't even know about center. Is it going to be Sutherland or Brindle? I don't understand what they're doing. Go ahead.
They're gonna have to keep Brindle in there because Sutherland's he's blown it too many damn times.
Like that ball like that. What the hell was he doing?
He caused like at least two penalties yesterday, and we can't afford to have that. So I want to just give me Brindle. I don't give a shit. Give me Brindle for right now.
And let
so further notice.
Still be the backup because Whew.
And if we can't get the left guard, thing together,
Aaron Banks.
I don't know. I think
right guard.
Yeah, get either give me Poe at left guard, and let Aaron Banks maybe rotate, and they can compete throughout. I know it's not the time to be doing that during the season, but shit, don't just outright give him the starting spot and make him think that he's already got it in the bag because he's not done getting any work.
They drafted
him
second round. See, that's the thing about the draft. Man. It gives people some kind of.
We should have got Creed Humphreys.
Yep.
We should have got Creed. There were several other guards and other guys that could play multiple line positions that were way more worth the pick. You know what I mean? And Creed, I think Creed went later, if I'm not mistaken, than Banks for sure. So that was just a blown waste of a pick on top of Trey Sermon, and we gave up 2 picks for him. What could we have gotten with that other pick had we not traded up for Sermon and we just got somebody right at that?
Whoa.
At that.
Wait. Refresh me on that. Did we trade up to get Trey Sermon?
Yeah.
I forgot. Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
This goes along with my jinx of the 49ers when they trade up. It's usually a Pettis. We didn't trade up for Solomon Thomas. We traded down. We traded up and got Reuben. Okay.
Yeah, we traded up for Ayuk. We traded up for
Ayuk's working out okay. Ayuk breaks the streak.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good with the Ayuk thing. But anyway, I'm just saying we gotta get some. The offensive line is the concern right now. The secondary for me is not anymore. Even with Jimmy being out, I think we got enough guys to fill in. We got enough guys to form the proper Band-Aid. You know what I mean, to sustain in the secondary. We got a really good defensive line. Once we get the starters out there, we'll be good. We just Trey's got to get these live bullets and these live reps in. I think going against Justin Fields, for week 1 is perfect. It's a perfect test for him to get ready.
Yep.
And he's got to take his lumps, man. You know what I'm saying? He's got to take the critiques. He's got to get better. He's got to work on his end of his end of his position, and then everyone else has to fall in line and do the same. But once we get Debo and all the other guys in there, I mean, Debo's going to be getting carries too. Let's not forget. I know Debo. My man earlier was talking about he liked DK over Debo. DK Metcalf can't take fucking handoffs and get 500, 600, 700 yards and get 8 to 10 touchdowns just as a carrier, so ball carrier. So I mean, it's but he the separation thing is a problem, but that's why he's a yards after carry kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get him in a different position.
Yes. Let's keep
Debo just needs to get in a little bit better shape, a little bit better, more game shape. You know what I mean? He's late to the party, so he'll get better. I think he'll get in better shape. I think he'll work hard in these next couple of weeks. That's what I'm hoping. Now that he's got the money, hopefully he's not sitting on his hands and just, doing what we know some of these guys do after they get paid.
Yeah,
because we can't afford to have that shit happen. So
he'll be all right. Debo, he loves winning, and I know he does not. He'll be okay. So I'm not worried about
I don't see him doing that. Yeah, he'd be pissing away his legacy, and he's too great of a player to do something like that. So I see him getting better. And I mean, if just imagine Trey overthrows him, then what? Stingley might have gotten to the ball a little bit sooner. He's longer and taller than Debo. Debo's not going to win a jump ball in a situation like that. So you have to kind of give him a little bit more of a lead. Now, if this was Juwan Jennings would have caught that ball because he's taller, he's longer. You know, he's really good at the catch point.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, else we gonna go before production starts poking me, and I'll be looking for you Sunday. And
that's a bet.
Shout out to that awesome squad.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the platform, Ronbo, as always. Shout out to the Niner faithful. And, yeah, man, we got cuts on Tuesday, so shit, let's keep our fingers crossed. You know, it don't look too nasty, man.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. Wipe your feet, man. Hit the like and subscribe.
Thanks, fam. Night, Ellis.
Peace.
And Splin difference. There was a trade in place before he had the surgery. And by the way, Splin, this is another part of the mystery puzzle. People came in later and said John Lynch was talking about a deal with the Washington team that never existed. You know what's going on with that, Splin? That's Lynch trying to bait the hook to get somebody to call and give a counter offer to a phantom deal. Lynch never had a deal in place. This is what also made me speculate, are the 49ers really trying to trade Jimmy Garoppolo? Because all intents and purposes, if they would have told Jimmy G, we got a deal going on in Washington if you want to go, I really struggle with Jimmy saying, no, I don't like Washington. I really do. We're going to find out the truth about this later. But as far as just, I know what you're thinking, brother, you just love Jimmy. Jimmy doesn't need to stay in San Francisco. He doesn't want to. But the dude is so ice cool about this whole matter, which makes me also think him and the 49ers are in collusion in this. I don't know what capacity. It's another thing I can't figure out. Hey, Twin. Thanks for that difference, that contribution, though. Twin. Or should I say twin? Come back to Twin. Liam again. Liam, you answered the phone today?
Ronbo, I fell asleep last night, man.
Liam, come on in.
I completely fell asleep.
It is late night.
What's up? What's good?
We're just sitting back here regurgitating what we went over yesterday. And yesterday, it was all about Willie Snead and getting a 0 in the scoring column for me. But today we're sort of looking at some things that were kind of painful to watch yesterday. The offensive line being one of them. And Trey needs more snaps. There's some things that he's doing that are going to be usually what the byproduct is of needing more time with the NFL. But Liam, your observation on some of these things, have you thought about any of these matters?
The Trey Lance pick is on the verge. It's on the verge of becoming the greatest blunder in 49ers history.
Now, why do you say that?
All right. So, as was mentioned earlier, the amount of draft capital that was given up to get this pick.
Well, that was Marcus, yeah. Yeah. They
So
didn't really
I've
want
got
to.
a couple things I want to kind of run through real quick.
Okay.
You know, the last time in the regular season the 49ers were shut out was November 2010. And in a couple of the starts we had last season from Lance, we were shut out in the first half. The offense struggles to find its footing with him. And, yeah, sure, you know, the first, didn't really have a great offensive lineman last night, but, they've done Jimmy dirty here. They really have. And it's going to come back to bite them because if it's not Jimmy, it's going to get salty. If I'm another quarterback in the NFL, I got to ask myself how I'm going to get treated at the San Francisco 49ers organization. You're going to have one of the best quarterbacks in the league just stand on the sidelines and drift into nothingness. But, they have to basically kind of make the leap of faith at this point. They're in too deep. But they should keep Jimmy, because if they don't, I bet you know, Brock Purdy would end up being the starting quarterback at some point. I'm not kidding.
Ironic. No, I mean, they remind me of each other.
Like I like Trey. I have nothing against the kid. Like he's got a lot of talent. Like I think he's also got great composure. Like there's nothing wrong about him as a person, you know? But I think to be the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, I'm just not seeing that right here. And like last night, just go through some of his performance. You know, there's a bit of a trip up with the running back, basic sort of mesh point stuff. You know, he's sort of slipping out of the pocket. Now, whatever. People slip, like that's part of life. His one run was for 1 yard. Brock Purdy was better on his feet than Trey Lance last night. Like, for real. Yeah, the whole throwing technique, arm slot thing, I don't know. I just can't. We're going to have to see. But, like, I just don't know, Ronbo. And, you know, we've got people saying that Jimmy's the most underrated quarterback in the league. Favre, Montana, Sherman all think Jimmy should start. And I thought Shanahan made an interesting comment today. He said, in referring to Trey, he has to learn from the mistakes and find a way to still win the game. He has to, and then find a way to still win the game and overcome some of these things as he learns on the run. So here's the thing. If they roll the dice on Trey, which it looks like they're going to do, if I read that statement for what it is, it sounds to me like Kyle Shanahan is not going to play once the season's on. So if he's not winning with Trey, he's going to change the deck, and he's going to shuffle the deck. That's what I take from that statement. He's saying he has to find a way to still win the game. And if you look at the game last night, like as a whole team effort, I mean, there's 100 yards of penalties, 0 for 3 on fourth down.
I forgot to hit upon that. Yeah, true.
You know, and some of the sacks too. We gave up 3 sacks for 23 lost yards. It just killed us, drive killers. So like, but you look at it up and down. Offensively, we had a better game. We controlled time of possession. You know, usually we can still win a game if we have a turnover differential of -1. But we couldn't pull it off last night because we couldn't. We were in the red zone once all game. And that's because of the penalties. And that's because of the drop balls. And that's because of the sacks. And that's because of not having the vision downfield to see when guys were going to clear out, or overthrowing wide open George Kittle in the flat on a 5-yard out pass, one of the most basic passes in the West Coast offense, which Trey overthrew by a solid 3 yards. So if he's going to perform and if he's going to take on the role of the starting quarterback, it's like do or die. So I wish him the best for our sake as fans. You know, granted, if the real defense was in last night and we were really playing for all the marbles, I don't think we would have gone for 4-2. We would have probably kicked field goals in a couple of spots. The game would have been like 7-3, 7-6 going into the fourth quarter, something like that. But that's against the freaking
Texans
team that we were playing, like, you know, the Texans, like, you know, and nothing against Lovie Smith, like, great coach, but like, this could be the way it goes.
Yeah, no, Liam, you know, we got to go, but that I do worry about how defense is going to come at us this year, knowing that.
Yeah, they took the run away last night.
Yeah.
They forced us to pass.
But anyway, Liam, great points. I tell you what, if you got time Sunday, don't fall asleep. I'm going to get you. All right.
Yeah, sorry for snoozing. I was just so tired. I golfed 18 holes and.
All right. How'd you do?
And I walk. I don't take a car, Ronbo. I don't play like that.
All right.
I walk. I get my fitness.
That's what I'm talking
it's
about.
Vital.
Athletic golfer. All right.
Yeah, you know it.
All right, Liam. Have a great night. I haven't talked to you in a long
All
time.
right,
I just realized. All right. Have a good night.
Yeah, it's been a month or so. Yeah.
All right. It has. All right. So season's on now. We'll see you Sunday.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, let's go. Let's go. I mean, it's time. And I mean, we're gonna give the rock to Mitchell. And he's got amazing vision. So like, I think we still would have been able to run the ball a little bit more than we were yesterday, but still. And I do think on the Aaron Banks thing, if he's paired up with Trent, I think it's going to be like, side by side, he's going to learn. And Williams is going to be able to kind of tell him like this and that. And there's going to be dynamics. Like there's going to be guys like they're going to be focused on Williams. And I think
he's working.
Banks will be able to,
He's working with somebody who can actually teach him. That's true. All right, Liam. Great stuff.
Yeah, it's like when you've got a baseball lineup. If your slugger goes out, like you have less protection in the lineup. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Liam.
Anyway, thanks,
man.
Ronbo. Sorry for
right.
yakking.
No problem. Have a good night. And
All right,
let's
man,
go
you too,
All right. Let's go over and check out Frank and see if he's in the middle of a fish sandwich. Hey, Frank. Frank can't talk because his mouth is full right now. Frank. All right, come back to Frank. I forgot about all those flags. There were so many annoying things about that game. Hey, Casey.
Ronbo, what's shaking, man?
Casey, I thought about you as I was going through the material today, and I saw where Kyle Shanahan said we need to get Brunskill back here. And two of everybody's favorite people, two whipping boys of the 49ers offensive line. Hopefully we soon get some experienced guys here, Brunskill and McGlinchey. And I started laughing. Kyle, do you know how bad people talk about Brunskill and McGlinchey? You know what, though? I'm telling you right now, Casey, I definitely want McGlinchey back. I mean, I don't know what to think about Brunskill. He seemed to digress, go backwards last year. But anyway, what are you thinking? I mean, we have an issue on offensive line, and it's coming to reality now.
Yeah, no, I thought you would say that Kyle said. I thought you would say Kyle said he didn't see the play.
Everybody knows. I need to teach him with all of Kyle's favorite isms. When he doesn't want to answer a question. Well, no, I didn't see that play. He looks right into the camera when he says that.
Hey, I see a lot of things.
Kyle, we know you saw that play.
Yeah.
You still want to comment on it. Damn well you see that play. I bet there's not two plays you miss all day. But it's a good out if you don't feel like answering the questions, because the media's always got questions you don't want to answer, I'm sure. Can you imagine? I'd be like Belichick.
Yeah. No, Ronbo, and this always reminds me of a great Simpsons character, Johnny Tight Lips. The mafia guy, he gets shot and then go, Johnny Tight Lips, did you see the shooter? Yeah, I see a lot of things.
That's why the term "wise guy" was developed for those guys.
But Johnny, what should I? But Johnny, what should I tell the doctor? He says, tell him to suck a lemon.
That's why.
Kyle's got a.
That's what this movie.
Kyle's got a lot of.
Hey, what's the guy that played in the Wise Guys movie that just died here recently? That really bothered me. Vagoda. Vagoda. I think his last name was Vagoda. Anyway, he passed away, and I actually felt the pain on that. Love that dude.
Oh no!
In that movie. Yeah. He's in that mime
yeah,
where everybody's the gangsters sitting in some place and they're all laughing together really hard, and everybody uses that all the time. And somebody says something stupid on Twitter, you put that mime up. Oh, what is that, guys? Anyway, Casey, your feeling on what we saw last night.
I feel like the interior linemen definitely raises a concern. You know, I mean, pretty much everyone but Trent right now. I mean, you know, it wasn't it wasn't promising to see Trey just like scramble around. Although Trey's like so fast in movement that like it's just so noticeable, like his difference in scrambling.
Yeah. He gets
and his play action is impeccable.
Yeah.
His play action is so wonderful to watch. And I feel so confident when I see him do it that something good is going to happen. But what I'd like to see them do now is trade Jimmy for an offensive lineman. And that sounds crazy, but they need to get solidified there.
It's too late. Nobody's going to trade Jimmy for an offensive lineman if he's any good. Offensive linemen are hard to come by. Jimmy's leaving in about a week. Why would I? Nobody's going to make that deal. Nobody's going to make that deal.
I mean,
especially give you anything
I don't know.
good.
It does seem like the most, the position.
And then you got to match salary.
The team that needs the most help.
Because there's no offensive lineman getting $24 million, and so that means whatever 10. You still.
I think it was Trez, the guy that always starts with the Undertaker theme.
Yeah,
that was
Trey.
talking about Jalen Moore.
Yeah, Jalen.
Trey, okay, yeah.
God, Jalen. God, he's really.
I don't like that. I don't like the look of him, Ronbo. I am concerned with Trey Sermon on the team. But
such a good team.
You know, Ronbo, there's
something.
something.
You got a few guys that you just got to find a way to lose.
There's something so warm about that Undertaker intro, though. You know, it's like every time I hear that, I get so excited, and I love thinking that someone calls into this 49er preseason talk show, with so much enthusiasm, and spends 1 minute of his time with Undertaker's walkout.
We don't put his time up on that. We wait till he gets in and starts talking. We never do with intros. And if I'm talking, we don't start your time either. We don't start anybody's time until.
I'm gonna try and find the Vince McMahon No Chance intro.
Oh,
so I can
no
play that
chance!
When I call in.
That's so good. Well, you don't know. You better ask somebody. That's another one that kills me too. WWE that's an institution now.
Yeah, Ronbo, it's funny. You know, you lose against the Texans in week 3 of the preseason, and then all of a sudden, the Niners needed to trade Debo, and it's.
Debo.
Now, if they lose to the Bears, we're gonna have.
Oh wow! Hey, Casey, seriously, we lose to the Bears, and all hell breaks loose across.
Those week 1 games are always, the week 1. Every team, with the Eagles and the Lions, I think the Lions are gonna do very well in week 1.
Lions?
The Lions did really well. Yeah, because they put up 31 against us last year, and so
because we got
if it wasn't last year, it was the year before last year. But. Yeah, but I think that those week 1 games it is kind of like the polar opposite of like the late season trap games,
kind of, because nobody knows that much about each other. So yeah, the Bears are going to come in with what they think is going to be a plan to ruin a rookie quarterback, right? So Kyle's going to come up with something to take him in the opposite direction, and then we're going to try to do things that the Bears. That's going to be an interesting game. I really don't know how the 49ers are going to handle that, but we're not supposed to be losing the Bears. We have too much talent.
Can I talk about one thing too, Ronbo? I thought it was interesting to see how eager Trey was to get back in there in the preseason game, and kind of juxtapose it with Kyle's newfound kind of maturity and stoicism out there. Like, I hope that it doesn't happen where Trey starts to try and do too much, and I hope it takes Jimmy inherited a good team and went to the Super Bowl. It's 11-on-11, so I know Trey can do it.
Jimmy didn't inherit. He came into a piss poor team. They just sort of built some pieces around him finally and got an adequate team. But Kyle's still going to run the show, and he's going to run the show that way this weekend as well. I'm pretty sure. I mean against the Bears next 2 weeks or whatever it is. So I really think the 49ers, no matter what going on with the offensive line and Trey having to go through bumps and bruises, I think they'll still be solid somehow until Trey gets up to speed, which I'm hoping doesn't take more than half the season. Because there's some things he doesn't know about, he's never seen before. That's just a fact. 1 year of college football, not a lot. You can't expect him to just come in a savant of the position just yet. You got to go through these things. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's only been buying beer for like 1 year, Ronbo.
And even if he has, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good point. Okay, so let me see.
We got another 10 years with Bosa and Trey and Kittle and, so.
Kittle, 10 years, that'd be a reach. Wow, the way he plays, hopefully. Anyway, fam.
Yeah, I know, right? That's
I'll
true.
see you Sunday.
All right, thanks, Ronbo. Thanks for being here, man. Have a good
Thank
night.
you, Casey. Night. And Split Difference says, Liam was talking crazy. The kid was nervous. Yeah, I agree. I saw that, too. The Texans kept a lot of their first stringers in. Trey on a bad day will be better than Jimmy's good days. Split Difference, I'll never, ever agree with that. But, he was definitely nervous. I could tell. And in the beginning, some of those balls he was throwing into the dirt, that was thinking too much at a certain point or something. Yeah, and here he is. Patrick, my homeboy. Oh, God, I'm not reading that. If you want to hear what Patrick Mahomeboy has left here, one of them Patrick Mahomeboy notes. All right, thank you guys for those contributions. Hey, Emilio.
What's up? You know what? Since everybody wants to be negative, you know what? Trey sucks. Put back in Jimmy. Our defense going to be over. We're going to go 0-17. Simple. Since we suck. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, dude, it's fucking preseason. Are you serious?
Hey,
you're killing me too. We didn't score points.
No, I'm still mad about Willie Snead. Nobody's gonna make me feel better about that. Willie Snead made me madder than I was. I've been that mad. I don't know when's the last time I got that mad. But the ball was right at his hands. He's standing. Nobody's standing in front of him. Nobody's trying to stop him. Willie, catch the ball.
Okay, he's not a start. Is he a starter?
He's a professional, right?
Is he a starter? No, answer me. Is he a starter?
No, he's not a starter. By God, no.
Okay, then. No, that answers your question. Why is he in the backup? Why is he a third or fourth stringer? Because he can't catch.
Yeah.
It's just simple. You want something to happen when it's not going to happen.
You and I could have made that play. I'm standing there all by myself.
If we could have made it or not. Either he doesn't want to be on the team or he's just not cut out to be in the NFL.
Well, he's been around for years. Anyway.
Okay. That means he doesn't want to be on the team.
Well,
he knows he's going to get cut.
To
they must have told him ahead of time, either do you shine or you getting cut.
That's why he got mad and missed the ball.
That she didn't be worried about. Like, come on, man.
Let me know. I understand you're feeling your pain. What you want to amplify on that point? Go ahead.
It's not a pain. I'm getting annoyed with people on here. I'm like, oh, Trey's horrible. We should keep Jimmy. You know what? We actually might keep Jimmy.
Not many people said that yet. I think one person.
Because you know what? Last year, before the season, before they decided to get Trey, Lynch and Shanahan went to Jed and said, hey, is it okay if we keep Jimmy on the roster for 2 years? He said yes. So if he's on the roster, what does that matter? Everything was worked out. Everybody got paid. They got paid. Devo got paid. What does that matter if Jimmy's on the roster week 1 or not? Everybody got paid, needs to get paid. Bosa, that means if we keep Jimmy the whole year, by the time the end of this season, they're going to let him go and pay Bosa. So what does that matter if Jimmy's on the team anymore? Starting week 1.
When it comes to the finances, I have no comment. I don't know what they're doing and how they do it.
I'm starting to really hate my own Niner fans out here. Like, come on, man. Y'all killing me with this. Like, seriously. Y'all just like, come on.
At least they stopped with we can't sign Debo because of Jimmy. That was wearing me out. I keep trying to say, you know what? The 49ers don't. They know what they're doing with that. That's their money. And if Jimmy was causing that much of a problem, we're going to keep Jimmy or Debo. That wasn't the option. That's people need to stop with that, and they did. Now that Debo's already signed, good. It's tired of that. But now I don't know what they're doing next.
But it just come on. It just Lynch and Shanahan said everything's worked out. We want Debo to stay. We want this to happen. Jimmy was okay to stay on the roster for 2 years. Everybody's freaking out. Like, come on. I'm like, do you guys forget what everybody says? It's just like everybody wants everything to happen just at a snap of a finger. Like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You know.
All I know is don't blame Jimmy. Jimmy ain't said a damn thing.
Ronbo, it's killing me.
I'm loving Jimmy when he say the word. It'll get better. We need, you know what though? I tell you what, Emilio, get ready though, because if we lose to the Bears, oh my, you think you heard some whining?
We're not finna lose to the.
No, I'm just saying.
We're not finna lose to the Bears.
I'm just saying,
you know what?
This is
would
nothing.
Put any kind of money on it. We're not gonna lose to. We're not gonna lose to the Bears.
Are you betting on this game? Are you betting on that game?
We lose to the if I'm gonna say this is a big if we lose to the Bears, Trey gets hurt during that game. That's the only way I see that happening.
Hey.
Even if we lose that game,
we're
not finna lose to the Bears.
But I'm just saying, it doesn't necessarily have to be Trey's fault. This is the thing. This is what people. Every time we lost the game,
Trey. I'm saying for us to lose that game,
you could have.
If you look, if we really go back to this game, Lovie Smith was trying his hardest to make this team work.
And it worked.
He was trying his hardest. He was trying his hardest. Like, who tries that hard during preseason? Honestly, nobody. He wanted to win that game so bad. He wanted to go 3-0.
Well, because it was 2-0 as well.
What? I got a team on my hands. He knows he doesn't have a team on that hand. He knows he doesn't have a team. He
Email
knows
him.
that. He was trying his hardest. He felt so confident in that game. I'm about to beat up on these guys, knowing we had like half our starters off.
Yep.
He tried his hardest. You can tell. And Robert, you be killing me with that. Oh, I did this. I said, come on, Robert. Even
what?
More than half our starters didn't play in that team, offense and defense. Everybody's talking about Trey.
That's
but
what
our defense gave up. Our defense gave up so many yards on that rushing game. And nobody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about Trey.
No, they're not. We're talking about that offensive line more than anything.
Everybody on here is talking about Trey and how bad is Trey, and Jimmy should be the starter. Everybody on here is doing that.
No, they're not.
Everybody's talking bad about Trey.
Trey's like
no.
No.
Dude, I can go back 5 calls and say everybody was talking about, man, Trey's in trouble. Oh, the line looks horrible.
No,
Trey ain't gonna be able to do nothing.
Emilio,
we should keep Jimmy all of a sudden.
Emilio, nobody said put Jimmy in. The truth is that offensive line.
Everybody's saying it's a horrible thing to start Trey now, that Trey's not ready. So basically saying Jimmy should be started. It's kind of saying the same thing. You don't have to say the actual word. Jimmy should be the starting quarterback, but you're saying he's going to have a horrible season. Oh, we still got Jimmy on the roster. He might as well just start.
We're worried that with that offensive line, you could be Joe damn Namath. You could be Joe Namath. You could be all the best quarterbacks of all. Listen to me. All the best quarterbacks in the world in one. Aaron Rodgers, Joe Namath, Joe Montana. Put Tom Brady there. If you got a bad offensive line, you got a problem, Emilio, and you know it.
If we were able to switch out Aaron Rodgers with this roster and Aaron Rodgers with that line, he got sacked 30 times and still made the playoffs. With that 1 year, he had 30 sacks and still made the playoffs.
You don't want that.
You either going to be
Aaron Rodgers,
a star quarterback or you're not.
This is what we're saying.
It's okay. Nothing compared to Trey at this point, but come on now.
Do you believe?
To say, come on. If he's going to do what he's going to do, he's going to do it, and he's going to be a star.
One question: do you believe that is the case?
Yeah. What?
That he can go back there with a bad offensive line, and just because you say he is or not, do you need to see that to prove that he's a good quarterback or not? Or do you need to see a situation where he can actually stand back there? He's had 1 year college football. He needs time to develop. I don't need an army coming at him 100 miles an hour.
I'm not disagreeing. He does need time. But if he can read a defense and make sure he gets the ball to the open receiver,
there may not be time. Emilio?
I just lost my train of thought. What other quarterback I was thinking about? Oh, Wilson. If Wilson can get the ball and get you to the playoffs for the horrible line, why can't he? Just because he's only had 1 year?
Yes. Wilson played for how long?
You're a quarterback. I get that. But if you're going to be an all-star, hey, he had a good year his first season.
Russell Wilson
had a good year his first season.
But I don't know. Are we ready to compare Wilson and Trey yet? Here's the thing, Emilio.
No, I'm just saying.
I really think.
Just, come on now. If Trey's going to be one hell of a quarterback, he has to learn how to make sure get away from the sack
All right.
and be able to get to the open man.
All right.
I kind of saw that hit from him that yesterday. He was able to at least get away from the tackle, but it wasn't helping because it
All right. I mean, point taken. Point taken. I'm gonna tell you what, we ran out of time though. I'll see you Sunday, okay?
I get that. You know me. You know me. When I trash a player and I tell you he sucks. Trey, you can tell Trey. He has command of the offense. It was just nobody was blocking for him.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about. All right, Emilio. I'll see you Sunday.
Everybody, good night.
Good night. You too. Yeah, and everybody else is thinking on the same line. We're not trying to go off on the win or loss or making Trey a bad guy. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about some of the things that are going on around him more than anything else. And there's a couple of opinions that do feel Trey is probably inadequate, but I don't think for the most part we're not. Harold Murillo, Butterfinger Sneed. It sounds like a candy bar. Yeah. It's not a crapshoot at Trey, and there's a lot of things going on out there. And this is why I'm saying the Chicago game, any other game, how we like to spotlight the quarterback of the be-all formula to win. It's not like that. There could be any number of reasons for losing the game. It doesn't necessarily have to be Trey. But that offensive line is definitely going to get questioned, as will Kyle Shanahan if things go south in game one. And probably now we'll probably have our eyes open to the fact that there's more than one variable that goes into losing a ball game. Hey, Frank. Yo, Frank. And that's it. Hey, Bethel. Bethel. Oh, well,
hey, Ronbo.
Ah, there you are. Yeah, Bethel. Today, after yesterday, the Willie Snead incident, we're on to the next chapter of why we didn't appreciate yesterday's game. Mostly, it's the offensive line. We're a little concerned about that because we don't know who's going to start, and the guys we see trying out to start are very worrisome. Because usually you can see up front who's going to. Okay, that guy. I think he'll work out. He needs a little work. I mean, it's so funny because I look at McKivitz now, and he doesn't worry me as much as a couple other guys on that offense. I don't want to see Justin School needs to be cut. He's not going to be. Or else he needs to be put on the IR. His leg is not healed up from last year or something. He looked better before he got hurt. So that means that leg is killing him.
Yeah.
And, it's just a lot of things about the offensive line.
Something that a lot of people should realize, I think Kyle, the only thing he wanted off of this game is to do certain stuff. And he wanted to keep everybody healthy. He didn't want to get no injuries.
Yeah, and he said that over and over.
Yeah, and then another thing is that they didn't practice like they did with the other two games. With the other two games, they practiced a lot, and this one they hardly didn't. So, they were not really interested in this game because, you just want to see, who's gonna be better and who's not, and then plus. If you see Kyle, what's one thing that you don't hardly see Kyle doing in these 3 games, you see him do that he usually doesn't do? He was laughing, he was smiling, and he didn't have no worries in the care. So if he's not worrying about it, then we should not be worrying about it because he has a plan.
I heard about that earlier this evening. Actually, Kyle has an alternate plan in place already, according to media types. I don't, it was to look at people we're going to let go anyway. He wants to know who's going to be able to help us and who can't. So.
Yeah, and then another interesting thing that I heard that some information came up that Seattle Seahawks wants to get Jimmy really bad.
That's such a
they're just waiting for him
cliche
to get cut.
Yeah.
So the Niners are waiting at the last moment to cut him, and if they want him, he's not gonna be able to start
week 2
until later on. Yeah, and And plus, in Seattle, I wouldn't doubt it that if there's other teams wanting for his services, they're gonna want to give him some money, and they're gonna have to fight to get Jimmy G. So you never know. He might get 15. He might get 10. He might get 20. It depends how much they're willing to pay for Jimmy's service.
Bethel, you know what? I got a feeling that Jimmy sits out this year. Why? Because he's not going to want to come in. Well, there are a couple teams in the league he might want to go in as a backup and compete for the job next year. But otherwise, Jimmy Garoppolo is probably going to just sit around, heal up, get in shape, get strong, and at some point sign with somebody. But I don't look for Jimmy G to actually – and this thing about the Hawks aren't going after Jimmy G. They're just not. There's no reason for that.
It depends on
the Hawks want to draft their own quarterback next year. This is rebuild time.
Yeah, it depends on Jimmy G what he wants to do.
Yeah.
If he doesn't care about nothing, then he could sit out the whole year. And if he wants vengeance, then he'll go and he'll try to prove.
Play for the Hawks for $5.99 an hour. I want, because the dude is quiet. Jimmy's camp and him ain't saying a damn word about nothing ever, and that's mind blowing. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's
He's
how
the
they want to run the business.
Well, Jimmy's not disrupting anything either. That's what the thing. Guys, if I'm a GM or an owner, I'd get him just because the guy's got class. I mean, Jimmy's class is just ridiculous.
Yeah, so, that's, one good thing that, that he does. He keeps to himself and he lets, whatever happens.
Mm-hmm.
But
because he could be like Baker Mayfield. Now, there's a guy that was on the opposite side, opposite of the spectrum of Jimmy. Baker Mayfield's always talking. He goes out and finds the media to say things, So, yeah.
Yeah. But, and plus, we have 17 days after this?
16 now.
16, 16. And they could practice, they could do, get warmed up, they could do a bunch of stuff and, get ready for week 1. So, there's not going to be no worries. We'll get worried later on if, something bad happens. But if there's nothing bad happening, then, we don't have to worry until later.
But Bethel, like you say, 16 days is a long time. The 49ers actually, at least Javaris Moore is coming back. This is the only thing that ever worries me. Down through the years, the bottom line, why the 49ers haven't won at least one Super Bowl of these two, it was injuries. It was injuries, again, that got us just the right time. I mean, if I got Trent Williams healthy on the left side of that line against the Rams, if I got Jimmy with one of those injuries not there, either the hand or the shoulder, but both, that's too much. So, if that doesn't happen, we win.
And then plus, remember, I think it was, let me see if I remember right. New Orleans was playing somebody, and their defense was blitzing almost the whole game, and the other
Wasn't
guy
that the
got
Chargers?
pissed off.
Today,
yeah,
no, it was the Chargers.
He got pissed off. Yeah, he got pissed off because he was blitzing the whole game. He's like, "What you doing? You did it preseason. We're supposed to have fun."
Some coaches are just jerks. Lovey's got some questions to answer. Lovey, man, what is up with what? Come on, man. You're a little serious out there. It's okay to be serious. You went overboard. Not just scheming and everything else. So anyway, Bevel, we're gonna run out of time. Let me. I'll see you Sunday. Okay.
Fun, and remember, the Texans beat LA too, so I wouldn't be talking LA.
The Rams don't care. The Rams ain't.
Yeah,
nobody's playing off their first stringers. Nobody's playing anyway.
Yeah, and they're playing hard to try to beat the Texans. You know,
those are guys trying to win a
time,
job.
Try to beat the Texans. They couldn't beat them. We were not even practicing, and you know, we still did good.
Yeah, we did, except for Willie Sneed. Anyway, let me see you Sunday.
All right, see you Sunday. Great show.
Thanks,
Hit
man.
the like, and let's go, Niners.
Mm. And Avion Davis, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You really don't. Shut up. Hey, Charles.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Charles, man, we're sitting back here going over some of the things that were of concern yesterday. And we got to
yeah.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, Emilio thinks that we're picking on Trey. We're not picking on Trey per se. We're picking on the situation he's in. And asking him to deal with that offensive line, it is frightening. You know, he's not – Russell Wilson played years behind a bad offensive line. So, yeah, he learned how to work with it. But he set records every year for getting sacked.
You remember
45 times.
You remember David Carr? You know, he got sacked. I think his first year got sacked like 60-some times.
Oh, that'll ruin a quarterback every time.
Yes. And so, you know, Liam, you know, he's talking about how bad Trey Lance is and we need Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, the dude he's delusional. We're talking about Trey Lance in the same light as a veteran quarterback. He's not a veteran quarterback. Let the guy have his rookie year. You know, let him give him time to grow up. You know, we're not dealing with one of these childhood 16-year-old kids who have to run an empire, you know, that we read in history. We're not dealing with one of them. We're talking about a kid who
Charles, that's all very factual. But here's the problem with a lot of people are going on against that. This is a Super Bowl ready team. That's why Trey is under tremendous pressure. And what we're hoping is he doesn't feel the pressure. Now, you're saying we have to go along. This is not a rebuild team or anything like that where you expect the quarterback to come in and learn. The hope is that he can come in and just pick up segue right in smoothly. It's unreal. I agree with that.
And he can. And he can.
Is,
he just
see, that's the thing. They have to win. They have to win. Anything else is unacceptable because in that case, you don't change things. You just leave them as they are and see if you can roll the dice again. But that's why Trey's under pressure now. So people are going to put him under a microscope on every week between now and the end of the season. If he has a hard time, it's going to be loud.
And he can. You know, we've seen his talent. We've seen, he's in the right system. He's the right fit for the 49ers. The 49ers the right fit for him. It's just the offensive line. You know,
and that's what I was thinking. I said, you know, well, that's
the offensive line. Then, you know, I'm gonna tell you how blind people are. They can look at the truth and totally ignore the truth. You know, they talk about how the media talks about, and the guys that come over here, they talk about how that pass that he made to Deebo Samuels, he didn't complete it. Why didn't he complete it? Man, the cornerback was all over Deebo Samuels,
all the way down the field. Well, see,
and then he only had one. He had his left arm tucked into him, and he had one arm trying to catch the ball, one arm. The referee didn't call anything. You know, nobody ever talks about that. If the guy can't catch the ball, if the defensive back is holding him, that's pass interference. That's pass interference.
But
nobody's calling.
They call penalties on everything else. The 49ers had more laundry on the field yesterday than any one particular game in a long time. So, you know, that was a missed call. I said it as soon as the play was over. I mean, what's the flag on that play?
And nobody's talking about that. That was a perfect pass. Deebo Samuel. I mean, to Deebo Samuel.
And they called it. But they called him Samuel Womack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, of course. You know, the rookie, you know, but, you know, that's a 50-50 ball. They, you know, sometimes they'll give it to the defensive back. Sometimes they won't, you know, but, you know, and then they gave him one. And so I was happy that they gave him one.
Samuel,
but, yeah,
he's gonna be. So he's tough. I like him a lot.
Oh yeah, he's tough.
He was. Tony was telling me about him. Now I know.
Yeah. So Kyle Shanahan is the architect of Trey Lance's success or failure, and so it's all in his hands. It's all in the way he scripts the plays for Trey Lance, and the players that he has around him, and he doesn't have an offensive line. Well, how could you let Mack go? How could you let Thomason go? And you got a rookie coming in who doesn't know.
Remember, Mack quit, and they wanted him to come back.
He quit, but they could have offered him more money. They could have let go of Jimmy G and offered him more money, or they could have told they could have released Mack and signed a better center. If they knew Thomason was leaving, they could have drafted a better player in the third round other than a running back last year and this year.
Carlos, remember last year the investment was in Aaron Banks. I think they anticipated Laken Tomlinson leaving.
They knew Aaron Banks. Man, please, knew Aaron Banks.
I hope that's not true, Clarence. I mean, Charles, if they drafted a man they knew better was not going to be any good, somebody needs an ass whooping. Okay.
But look, we already talked about. Look, we already talked about how the 49ers, it seems like they have this contract with the Pac-10 to draft their players in the second round and the first round. We've already discussed that. That's not something that the national media has ever talked about. But it seems like the 49ers have a contract to draft players that come from that particular conference. And I think that's a reality because
could be. I mean, because nobody pulls. If I'm going to get an edge rusher, he needs to be out of the South. Why? Because the South has some really players that can test that edge every game. Certain areas you just know where the best players are going to come from. Linebackers got to be SEC.
Yes, and so why would you pick somebody? Yeah, if you're going to pick somebody from the USC, you're going to pick somebody from Oregon, or Stanford. They're going to be second tier. They're going to be second tier players. The first tier players are from the SEC. So why are you wasting your time? And so you knew that anybody that comes from Notre Dame, most people that come from Notre Dame, they don't pan out. Ones that come from Stanford, they don't.
Wait. Now the offensive linemen. Actually, Notre Dame manufactures most of the time. They get one here and there that doesn't do well, but there's some Pro Bowlers out of Notre Dame already from the offensive line.
Well, we got two of them. We need to get a receipt. We need to send it back and get a receipt for them. Because
get your money back.
We need our money back. We need our draft pick back.
There's not very many better than Quentin Nelson, and also the Ravens have a guy over there that's just hell too. It's always a turkey. You know what? Draft is always going to be a crapshoot. You're going to either hit it or miss it.
But you know who in the SEC makes really good offensive linemen? LSU. If you want a really good offensive lineman, LSU or Alabama makes really good offensive linemen. Pick from them. Why you got to go to lowly? Stanford?
Everybody can't get those guys. They're usually picked up by somebody. Man. And the draft is always leaning toward your needs. When's the last time a team actually drafted BPA? It just doesn't happen. So
I'm gonna tell you, man. If our left guard from Stanford, he gonna be on my team. He'd be running laps. He'd be 280 pounds messing with me because that joke would be running laps every time he missed an assignment. Every time he got bullied.
Stanford. Who's that? Left guard from Stanford. Who's that?
Yeah, the second round pick you were just talking about. I forget his name.
No, Aaron Banks. Banks is from.
Yeah, Aaron Banks.
No, Banks is not from Stanford. Is it? Isn't Banks from Notre Dame? No. Who do we just? Banks is from Notre Dame, isn't he?
Is he from Notre Dame or is he from Stanford?
We just picked up somebody.
No, he is from Notre Dame. I'm sorry. He is from Notre Dame.
But Charles, we're running the clock. Let's go get better, Charles. Right. Let me see you Sunday and see what develops between now and then.
Well, I ain't gonna nothing to develop, but I'm still, I'm gonna take this game with a grain of salt. I was so shocked. I was like you, man. I was waiting to get on, but there were so many people that were coming on, and I'm like these other guys. I fell asleep, but
All right, Charles, and I'm sorry about that. We're trying to reach out to the East Coast as fast as we can. All right, fam. I'll see you on Sunday then. All right.
All right. Good night.
All right. Night, Charles. Clarence Molina. Not Empire. We have 16 now. This day's over, Clarence. We got 16 days left. Chill. We'll get there. I just don't want to lose to Chicago and if Seattle. I'm telling you, I'm still worried about Seattle. Well, it's a big show. Get in here.
What's up, Ronbo?
So, we're always one thing about this program. Every time we start off with topics and subject matter that usually shouldn't be irritating or bothering anybody, but there's always those people that come in and add a little oil.
That's my job to irritate.
And you do a great job at it too, Jose. So I don't need to say anything. You just go ahead and continue from there.
E.g., the 2019 draft, remember that year, how much I've irritated everyone, and they still won't let me down for that? About, what happened that year?
Yeah.
But I would like to give a huge shout-out to Liam regarding what he said tonight, because it takes a lot of cojones to say what he said. If that were me saying that, Liam, people would be ripping my head off. They would be ambushing my call, who don't like their calls being ambushed. They would be calling me every name in the book. They would be calling me every name in the book. And it takes a lot of guts what you did tonight, because if you dare say anything negative about their golden boy Trey, they will come after your ass and rip your head off, because their hatred for Jimmy shows truly when you criticize Trey. Because if that game on Thursday night did not worry about you, or worry you about the quarterback's performance, then you're a fool. You're delusional, like Charles said. You're blind. Because, Ronbo, the media has been reporting all training camp that Trey has been inconsistent. He's been underwhelming. And that performance last night, he threw Vaseline on the media's fire that they've been trying to start. And if you're going to blame the offensive line on that performance, you're a fool. That was our second string offensive line. That's not our starting offensive line. You people make it sound like that's our starting offensive line. And you're saying that our offensive line is the concern? That's what it sounded like. That's what it sounds like. You're saying our offensive line is going to be a problem, but then at the beginning of training camp, our offensive line is not going to be a problem. We have Juice, we have Kittle blocking, we have Aaron Banks, we have Trent Williams, we have McGlinchey back. Our offensive line is going to be fine. So I'm a little confused here. Help me understand that.
So for where my position on that was, I'm just concerned about some of the guys that are trying out, because they don't seem to know who they're going to start on the right side of the line.
If I were to put anybody on that right side of the line, it would be Jason Poe.
Yeah.
On the right guard spot.
And who's going to be
Spencer Burford is a natural right. Spencer Burford is a natural right tackle, and I hate playing players
out of position.
Their natural
and the 49ers
position,
love to do that
because it doesn't work in our favor all the time. It never works in our favor.
And hasn't yet.
Never.
And so move Burford to the right tackle would make sense, right? And then move Poe into the right guard. Why don't they
move Burford to the right tackle? Does make sense until McGlinchey is fully healthy and ready to go.
And it doesn't look like Mike's
Except
ready
Fred
anytime
Warner
soon.
and Trent Greenlaw.
What? Fred Warner. Yeah, they didn't play yesterday. No, the defense was. That's why they were able to run the ball as well as they did a lot of times. But you do need Javon Kinlaw in there. You know what? Javon is becoming more and more seemingly important than he ever was.
I hope Javon blows up, because I want him to literally. I really hated Grant Cohn, the way he treated Javon Kinlaw. I hope Javon Kinlaw has a stellar year this year. That's all I'm going to say. to shut Grant the hell up. You know what I mean?
He's got to have good years for that. Harold Murillo, you're right.
Yeah.
Somebody else said something about Jason Poe having trouble yesterday. I never watch the offensive line because I'm too busy watching the quarterback trying to make maneuver. Did Poe have a good game yesterday?
Honestly, I didn't really pay close enough attention.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't really pay attention to the offensive line. I try to watch it, but I'm so busy watching the ball that I forget about what's going on in the interior.
But when you're the one who was trying to warn everybody about this quarterback before the draft, who was very inconsistent when entering the draft, not inconsistent, I'm sorry, but very inexperienced when entering the draft. Granted, he does have a lot of talent, but I believe he would have benefited more if he would have stayed a year longer in college than sitting out a year, because that's not what you do. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's not what you do. You sit out a year
and
not playing football, and then you sit another year. That's 2 years of not playing football, and that showed on Thursday night.
And you know what? Brock Purdy's a shining example of why putting in 2 to 3 years in college football is probably good, actually.
And this is exactly why they're keeping Jimmy Garoppolo on this roster. That's the contingency plan that Grant Cohn was talking about. Because like I told you before, if Trey Lance looks flat in preseason, which he did last night at the end of preseason, then like Liam said, they're going to be shuffling the deck in midseason should he not continue to impress everybody and be where we should going to the playoffs this year.
Actually, I did see a show where somebody asked him a question about what's going to happen to Jimmy G, and Grant thinks Jimmy stays with the team this year too. That was really interesting. I said, what makes Grant think that? I thought, wow. So I don't know.
And Ronbo, can I get an installment before I go tonight, please?
Okay, if you do it in 30 seconds. Are you ready? And now, a quick installment for the big show with Let Me Holler at You. You got it.
Trey, my fam, don't be coming on here and bragging about a 120-point grade passer rating when the quarterback threw for 7-11 and 49 yards, when you would be on here screaming your head off if that were Jimmy Garoppolo throwing those type of stats, saying, oh, Jimmy can't throw beyond 5 yards to Deebo Samuel. We got a problem here. Our quarterback situation is horrible. We need to put a new quarterback in right away. Get our backup in there right away. So cut the crap. Come on.
This is what you got to love about TNT. Right. They're honest with each other.
Shout out to TNT, fam. Y'all take care. Have a great night.
You too, fam. Night.
And if you're not worried about this performance of our quarterback, you're blind. Very blind. And your hatred for Jimmy is continuing to show. So shout out to everyone. All right, good night.
Night show. And is it Levi's time? Oh. It's going to be an interesting season. From going into week one, yeah, we just did that one. Going into week one, it's going to be interesting to see where our mental stability is. Hey, Levi.
Yo, Ronbo.
Levi, would you come in here, please? And, one thing we've done with all off season long, we've complicated everything we've talked about. They didn't always, I'm appreciating what's coming up this season. And one of the reasons why, me who loves Jimmy like my brother, I will be glad when Jimmy leaves so that I can sit back and relax. Because you know why? I'm done fighting about that kind of fight. Because Trey, I'm going to be the moderator, I can see right now this year, because I want to win, and I'm hoping that Trey does a great job. Losing is not something I want to do. But I already know we're asking a lot of Trey. This is his first year. The man ain't played that much ball. He's coming in to see some things he's never seen in his life before. And then I'm looking at the offensive line, and they're having their issues. I've already become relaxed. I said, if we go 10-7, I'll be the happiest man. No, I'll be the what? Levi, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God.
All right, Ronbo. I got a couple points to make. And first, I'm going to address your little comment about Jimmy and how you think you're going to be able to relax. Ronbo, there's a couple of situations why, at least for a year, you'll still have to deal with Jimmy Garoppolo, even when he's off the roster.
How come?
All right, scenario one: Jimmy goes to another team, and he just doesn't play well.
Okay.
And you're gonna have people coming in, and they're gonna be saying, "I told you so. I told you he wasn't a good quarterback."
That is a possibility.
I told all Kyle Shanahan or Bill Belichick that he was successful. You send him to another team, and now he ain't playing well. So you'll have to hear that.
Yeah.
Or you might hear a little throwing thing. Maybe he goes and plays well.
Yeah.
And then and then Trey Lance maybe he kind of underperforming.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're gonna hear some of your other people. Well, you probably won't mind them as much, but yeah, you probably wouldn't bang because it's gonna be attacking your team and say, "Hey,
no, but you know,
he went to another team that wasn't that good, and now he's making them a playoff team, and Trey Lance is struggling over here."
Levi,
So, there's a lot of scenarios that just because Jimmy Garoppolo goes away doesn't mean he's gonna go away from your channel, at least for a season.
Remember when he came to San Francisco, we were ass butt cheeks that year. Remember? So the thing is about Garoppolo, it's all going to depend on how much leverage he's given. Kyle put him into a system, and from that point on, Jimmy sort of became that quarterback that every 49er fan, every other 49er fan that is, wants to hate. So, you know, if Jimmy goes off and does well or bad, I am going to remain impartial about it. I swear to God. You know?
Well, the problem you were saying is you have to deal with it.
Yeah, but no,
I think he's still going to hear about Jimmy.
I can ignore it.
I'll
I'll give you my out card. Jimmy doesn't play for the 49ers anymore. Why are you bringing it up? Because that'll make the person that's talking about it look silly.
Okay, well, I'm glad you got a plan.
No, I'll definitely got a plan.
You got to. All right, what was the next point? Okay, here's my next point, Ronbo. This isn't completely 49ers related, but it's kind of like the callers related. And I was thinking about it because it happens occasionally. And, you know, it's about the call interrupters, the people who just come in.
Yeah.
There's only like a handful that is probably okay, like when someone got out a question and then they jump in and give an answer and then jump back out.
Yeah.
That would probably be the only call that may be okay. But my other thing would be is just having, I guess, maybe a little thing that say that if you interrupt a call, we're just going to, like, remute you. And if you keep doing it, we're just going to not take your call there.
Well, no, on that. People keep on muting
to
themselves. Production does get mad sometimes and do some very vicious things. I never say anything because I think if you make production people mad, there's no telling what's going to happen, especially if we ask a person 2 or 3 times to stop it. And then they might get cut off.
If you just put it up there, maybe you say in the meeting that maybe at the start of the video when you give them some of the things, you say, hey, we don't want any callers, especially if you're a post game where people only get 5 minutes, unless the caller just calling for someone to come in. And we'll have a zero tolerance. If you jump in, the production is going to mute you right away.
But you know what, Levi, every now and then it provides for entertainment. If you get 2 people and they got a good solid argument going on, that's by a judgment thing till we let it ride. It's not something we encourage, but every now and then some of the fights that have taken place with people, like when the Rams fans call and 49er fans come in there to interject, that's entertainment.
Yeah. I would say that would be like the one caveat. Maybe you can even give you a little time saying, "Hey, you've been I don't know, just a simple phrase that gives the 49ers fans like I forgot what I call it, an aggravated call, an agitated caller. Someone is calling and causing problems, and then you give them that little saying and then the 49ers callers can jump in. So it's kind of like, yeah, if you come in here, you're not part of the fan base, you trying to cause problems, this don't apply to you. Someone comes in, take up your time because you kind of light up fires. And
we do try to be fair, though. I mean, if a person calls in, we try to be fair. Until they break rules, we do have rules. If people break them, we can get rid of them. But we try to remain fair.
You know, that's why I just say that sometimes when they come in and it's not good, it just
but Levi, I've never heard you get anybody to interrupt you, though. You just bothers when you see others doing it.
I mean, it ain't happened yet, but I figured that when you see it happen sometimes, they ain't causing some fans to maybe try to, I'm going to try to jump in. I think it happens to some of your more premier calls that don't always happen to.
Yeah.
So So I just want to be fair. I think if someone comes in, you get a few minutes.
Point taken. Sometimes it's a judgment call, but yeah, the circumstances sometimes are. It's tough to make a decision sometimes, but we try to keep it under control.
Right.
It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens.
Yeah, but that's why I say that I want to get someone more of a zero tolerance that you let it happen sometimes and it start happening more frequently. Even among people that, that's not a part of that, yeah, we like to go at it. But some people, they just want to come, take their 5 minutes, talk their point. Their points might not be popular, but people shouldn't just come in. That's why I just said it should be known that you can be muted immediately without question, without warning. If you try to jump in on someone else's call, especially if you weren't invited in.
And it's a good point.
That's my only thing.
Yeah,
just letting people know, hey, if you jumped in a call and we didn't invite you in, production will probably mute you, and that means you ain't got to try to talk over somebody and try to say, hey, man, we try to, you just get muted.
Levi, here's what we're going to do. From now on, if that happens, we're going to see if the caller on the phone has a problem with it. Then you're going to that's a new policy. If you interrupt the phone call and the caller on the phone doesn't want that, we may have to take action on that one. How about that? Okay, because a lot of times people call in and they get into those exchanges, and the person on the phone doesn't have a problem with it. But if you get a caller and that does that, then we'd immediately reject them. How about that? Or eject.
So you just tell them, say, if someone comes in on your call, just say go away, and then they have to go away.
They got to honor your wishes. Okay, all right. That's.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
That way, everybody can get all their time, and if they want to,
or at least the person is coming in.
Hey, they can use their time fighting.
Or at least the person that's coming in and say, "Can I make a point?" And if the caller on the phone says, "Fine, go ahead," it should be a mutual agreement. How about that?
Yeah, because this is the person's best time. They should have a say so who jumps in that call. Not, hey man, Ronbo, I just want to. If I want to miss word, I want to miss word with Ronbo. I don't want everybody else jumping in.
That's a good point, and we're going to try to adhere to that too.
Because you only get about 3 to 5 minutes.
We always give 5. 5's a minimum. 3 minutes after the game, though. All right, but Levi, honestly, good point. We got to go now, though. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll look for you Sunday, and hopefully we'll get this all in order.
All right, Ronbo.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later, and have a great 49ers day.
You too, fam. All right. Good stuff, Levi.
Yeah, that last call.
Okay. Let me hey, let's see if Frank is still with that sandwich. Frank. I think Frank's out because he never takes that long. Tony, come on in, T.
Ronbo, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Tony. As I was watching the antics, and I call them antics, going on, your favorite guys over there, Nolans, and Jameis Winston looking decent. I was thinking, I wonder if Tony's watching this. But what really cracked me up is the Chargers took that game hella serious, didn't they?
No, they didn't. Nah.
Well, some of the things they were doing. And hurdling over people. I'm not hurdling over anybody in no preseason game. Well, Tony, I'm telling you, things that are going on around. You got the Panthers lost Darnold.
You said the Panthers lost who?
Sam Darnold. Yeah, they carried him off on a stretcher.
Yeah,
yeah, seriously.
Oh man. That's good.
So
and they already lost their quarterback that they drafted. I can't think of that guy's name.
Did they?
Out of Ole Miss, he's out for the season. Yeah.
Okay, see, you know what? Here we go. No, you're not gonna have Baker Mayfield and Jimmy G on the same team. There's no way they're gonna pay that much money and have that good on the ball for Baker Mayfield and Jimmy G to be on the. Tony, though, if you got Jimmy G and Baker Mayfield on the same roster, who starts?
Jimmy G, but I don't see Carolina going after him.
No, I can't imagine that either. I was laughing because I didn't know that what you just told me was news to me too. I didn't know they had another quarterback. I thought they had a backup already ready to go. The Carolina Panthers did draft somebody. He's hurt.
Well, they got a real shit show in Carolina. Ronbo, if you go back to the last 3 seasons, I bet you they had about 10 quarterbacks.
Like,
including Cam Newton twice. They drafted Matt Corral out of Ole Miss in the 3rd round. He got carried out on the stretch.
I forgot Cam's been over there twice. And last year he came back like it was a family reunion, and like everybody's happy to see Cam back. Took 5 minutes for Cam to leave.
Yeah, because they won that first game with him back. When they talking about, I'm back.
I remember that. Cam, you ain't back. So yeah.
But Ronbo, you see it in the chat. I was setting Patrick Mahomeboy straight, and now he out of the chat. I was giving it to him.
And he's mad. And he's mad because I didn't read his tweet or his tweet. I'm sorry.
KC is not. I said KC's gonna get that last wild card spot. I know how the NFL works. The competition's too great.
Tony, in that conference, there's gonna be some beat downs, and somebody's got to get beat down. Honestly, when I look at that division, the Chargers are gonna hurt somebody. That's all I can see right now. The Raiders are nobody's pushover anymore. I hate admitting that. And then of course you got the Denver Broncos. I don't. There's no place to go in that division. That's worse than NFC West.
I think Denver gonna get that number one wild card seed. That's what I think. I think one of those 4 divisional winners going to go to the Super Bowl, either the Chargers, Cincy, my dark horse Indy, or Buffalo still loaded. And the Rams better beware. Buffalo's coming to town. 3 first-rounders on that defensive line starting. Their backup defensive line, A.J. Epinesa, second-rounder out of Iowa. They got 2 first-round.
Tony, say that name again. You did well with that. I've seen that name. I didn't even try to pronounce it. What's his name? Jason what?
A.J. Epinesa didn't even start.
Go Tony.
He's perfect. Yes.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills have already been picked by Vegas to be in the Super Bowl anyway. So no matter what the AFC West is doing, the Bills is going to beat that ass. And also, you look at the fact that, Tony, you know what? I am not counting out the Dolphins just yet. I want to see. I think they're that sneak up on your team this year for some reason. They got a lot of personnel, but they got Mike McDaniel running the offense. Their defense wasn't that bad last year.
I think the Dolphins, this is my opinion, Ronbo, looking at the rosters, the Jets got a nice roster too. The Jets and the Dolphins, to me, are kind of even for that number 2 spot. I think New England going to finish in last.
Who's that quarterback for the Jets that came in and spelled Zach last year that wasn't bad? Was his last name White?
Mike White, yeah, he beat the Bengals. Flacco's going to start.
Who? Flacco, that's right.
No, Flacco.
I forgot about Flacco.
Ronbo, the Jets have a lot of talent. Offensive line, offense. This is some of the best talent that Joe Flacco's going to have starting week 1 that he's had in a long time.
And
Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson, their first-round pick, all receivers.
And don't forget that Mrs. Mims' angry son. He's over there in case they lose somebody. That dude can play. I don't know what's going on, why they won't let him play, but Mims can play.
Yeah, because they got the other 3 ahead of them.
Yeah.
The offensive line, the 2 former guys that you remember, Dwayne Brown and George Fent, who used to be the bookends at Seattle. Now they're the bookends in New York.
Which one of the 49ers is over there? Is that Lakin?
Lakin Tomlinson's the left guard. He's going to be playing next to Dwayne Brown.
So they're a little better than that. And they got Robert Saleh.
Elijah Vera Tucker from UFC, their first-round pick, is their right guard.
And they got Robert Saleh running that defense, and eventually that defense is going to come around. So
yeah, Carl Lawson on one end. You got Jermaine Johnson, the first-round pick, who I wanted the Falcons to take on the other end. Quentin Williams at defensive tackle, and Sheldon Rankins. Remember him at defensive tackle. You got a squad.
So
and
it's
then
all
you got Solomon Thomas backing them up.
It's all about who?
Solomon Thomas backing them up.
Wait. Solomon's over in New York?
Yeah.
I was wondering where he went. I thought I heard something like that. So Saleh always did like Solomon T.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised also Ronnie Blair is not. Is Ronnie Blair still playing?
I don't know. I have to check to see him on the rosters.
Because I knew.
I don't know.
Because Robert Saleh loved him some Ronnie Blair, but Blair tore up his knee, and he wasn't Ronnie Blair anymore. Ronnie Blair, the dude was really good for us, If we wouldn't have lost him in that 2019, he could have made a difference on that defense as well. Because guys start dropping like flies. Good defenders.
And the Bills are playing a 4-3. You know how teams are moving to 3-4. Buffalo's still playing a 4-3. And here's the kicker, Ronbo. Von Miller's not playing linebacker anymore. He's playing defensive end now.
You know, the thing is, there's so many 4-3. Your base package means nothing in the NFL anymore anyway. There's hybrids. The 49ers went into hybrids half the time. Maybe more than that. Because DeMeco Ryans don't believe in knowing one way to play nothing. DeMeco's, I thought Robert Saleh was creative. DeMeco's out of his mind. I love it. So, yeah. Denzel Mims, yeah. Denzel Mims actually requested a trade. I was talking about that yesterday with Tony. I'm seeing that in the chat here. But, yeah, so good things coming up.
Rams going to get hit in the mouth week 1.
I got to play Buffalo week 1? Oh,
yeah.
Love it. Well,
Buffalo come into L.A., and they're going to leave with a victory.
Get ready, Rams. I guess we won't see you at week 1. All we got to do is beat Chicago.
You said this like about 4 or 5 shows ago, and I've been putting it in the chat. You call Matthew Stafford the Golden Boy, so a lot of times I'll type Matthew Golden Boy Stafford. That's what I call him.
Because the elbow. The Golden Boy has got to go out there without the elbow functioning properly. And, of course, the Rams, they actually responded with, he's always hurt. Doesn't mean anything.
Tony? You know what they're going to do, Ron, but once he starts throwing those picks, they're going to say their elbow. You know they're going to say it.
Of course. They've already got the excuse lined up. Hey, Tony, let me see you tomorrow. I mean, it's Sunday.
Yes, sir. We play tomorrow at 3 o'clock on NFL Network.
All right, good. I can
Jacksonville,
watch
that's Falcons.
Should be fun stuff. Yes, especially against Jacksonville. I'm dying to see what they look like because, boy, he came right out the toilet. Oh, my God. Oh,
I'm
that was
glad you
terrible.
guys didn't have anybody get hurt because there was some players that got hurt tonight.
Oh, yeah. That's
away from
every
our-
playoff. I mean, that's every preseason game. It's terrible. I just told
And
you
you know
about
that,
Darnold.
Yeah, and now we got these the 25 guys got to get cut. Now we're gonna start seeing on the waiver wire, like you and I have talked about for years, name players getting released from another team.
It's going to be
Tuesday, right?
interesting. Yeah.
Tuesday,
49ers are only going to be looking at offensive linemen coming off the wire. So,
And we're
all right,
looking
Tony.
for a couple decent linemen.
Maybe. All right, Tony. I'll see you Sunday.
All right, take care and good night, Market and Slow. I see your comment. Market and Slow, you sound-
Go get him, Tony. Good night.
I'll see you Sunday.
Looking forward to it.
Take care.
And Patrick Mahomes, boy, I loved it. I finally made you mad. He called me a scrub for not reading his comment. I said thank you for the contribution, though. I'm not reading your comments. You say all you want to do is inflame. Make a comment once as a possible person with manners, which you don't have, and I might read it. We don't encourage that kind of behavior, and we certainly don't solicit it. Frank? Are we calling Frank again? Yeah. Frank. You're right, Harold Maria. The only Golden Boy is Oscar De La Hoya. Let's get ready to rumble. Harold, you're right, man. I don't know what I was thinking. Fam, thank you for the contribution tonight. Always appreciated. Even you, Patrick Mahomes, boy, but your no-mannered, impolite self. And fam, please don't forget to hit subscribe before you leave and hit that like. You know I love those. And I'll see ya Sunday.